big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count up to 37.
Oh! This is where I think we're going to see the caution. Oh! Here comes Angela, though. He'll have the run. That car, the newest below the Double Yellow Cup Series champion. And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count up to 37.
Oh! Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes Zwack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
Hello and welcome to the Below the Double Yellow Premier Series live tonight from Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Marathon 300, the regular season finale, and drivers going to be fighting to advance into the chase for the championship here tonight at the home track in Charlotte Motor Speedway. Looking forward to a very exciting race here tonight. The regular season championship battle is on between Seth Hatchell and Brody Hayes. Just 14 points separate those two drivers, and only 26 points separate the 11th position all the way to 16th. We do have just about 21 or 22 drivers on the racetrack here tonight. So it should be interesting to see how these drivers get along and who is going to make it into that top 12 in the points. And Alec, we're alive and rolling here.
We are.
And,
sorry about that. Yeah, I was getting something done, but yeah, we are ready to go. We are at the backyard of NASCAR, Charlotte Motor Speedway tonight. 300 miles, and these guys just getting to qualify. It's gonna be a fun time tonight, I'll tell you. These guys slipping and sliding all over the place. I'm looking forward to it. Hope you fans are looking forward to it. The points are tight, and the drivers, I tell you, these guys are gonna be all over the racetrack getting her going. So it's gonna be a fun race. I am looking forward to tonight, and I hope you guys sitting at home are ready to watch this race. It should be a fun time.
Yeah, definitely going to be a good time. We see Chris Samard streaking across the start-finish line there to try and get his lap time in. And he will go to second. Dallas Sullivan, last night's winner in the Contender Series, his first career win in a dramatic finish. He's going to look to try and go 2 for 2 here this week, but currently third on the board. Yeah, definitely going to be an exciting one. I mean, the points are pretty tight around the cut line. I know there's not too many drivers out here this evening, but looking forward to seeing who does make it into the top 12.
Yeah, it should be fun. I think obviously we've seen that. I believe it's Chris Samarter's in it. Oh, it's Angelo Ronis. Sorry, Angelo Ronis is on the cut line, and then right behind Matthew Zwack, who is racing tonight, 9 points behind, and so is Dallas Sullivan, who we saw win yesterday in the contender race. I think it's always a possibility. Any of these guys can point it in, and I know one thing: Angelo Ronis, Jeff Wright, only being 13 above. They have to have a clean race. They cannot afford any mistakes tonight. They have to be mistake-free.
Definitely going to have to be limiting those errors. It is a long race tonight. 200 laps, 300 miles, the longest of the season. Definitely going to be a challenge, a race of attrition in some ways, just limiting those mistakes. A few drivers returning tonight. We see Joshua Banks here once again. So good to see him out here. Michael Frisch also once again in the field this evening. Should be, quite a bit of talent fighting for the victory here tonight. Keith Mayato, who's already got a couple poles this season, goes to the top of the charts. Brody Hayes fighting for that regular season championship. He'll go to second for the moment, just 33 thousandths off the pole time. Adam Cabot looking for his third win. Looks like he'll start towards the front as well. Here's Ben Baffert, already a race winner. What can he do?
He goes up onto the board here. Again, qualifying is going to be important, but not as important as some may think. It's 300 miles, but track position is going to mean a lot. But 300 miles means, 200 laps here. Such a long race. It's out in the sun. Tires. Most likely we're going to get a long run tonight. It's all about being consistent and making no mistakes, or else you're going to have a long, grueling 300 miles if you do make some mistakes.
Indeed, and Baffert not able to improve. Some big bobbles there through turns 3 and 4. He'll stay 12th on the charts. The two-time winner this season, Yusuf Ghali, currently scored 13 out of 13 qualifiers, so maybe trying to save that speed for the race. AJ Stravato on the track as well, trying to put his lap time in here. Just 6 minutes left in qualifying. Let's take a look at the points coming into tonight's race. That's going to be important to look at. It is the top 9 advancing no matter what happens here tonight. They've created enough margin to the cut line, so they are good to go. That is going to be Hatchell, Hayes, Mayato, Joshua Banks, Adam Cabot, Bailey Turner, Dane Cruz, Dylan Parker, and AJ Stravato, the top 9, all advancing into the championship chase. So a couple of former champions and everybody else looking to try and get there first. Ben Baffert, based on the amount of drivers showing up here tonight, he will advance as well with his race win and consistent enough through the first 11 races here. But starting 11th with Jeff Wright, that's where it gets interesting. He and Angelo Ronis above the cut line. Then you've got Matthew Zwack, who has been a contender. He's just missed a couple races. Currently 9 points out. Dallas Sullivan also 9 points out. Pretty consistent season for him. Chris Samard, Reggie Ortega. I think Reggie is going to be out based on the amount of drivers showing up tonight, but you never know what can kind of happen here. We'll just have to wait and see how the points tabulate. But he's gonna have to win.
For sure, yeah.
Have any chance? Michael Sturgill, Luke Canup, Eric Hutton, and Zach Carr inside the top 20, all eliminated. They're too far out and cannot advance into the chase. So last season's champion Zach Carr, he'll have to look forward to next season and see what he can do then. Get back up to the top step of the championship.
Yep, and I believe the drivers are going to the drivers meeting right now. So what do we think here, Adam? Obviously, it looks like Keith Mayato is going to be rolling off the pole here tonight.
Yeah, another pole position for him. I think we should probably get down in there and talk to the top 2 in the standings, fighting for that regular season championship. Seth Hatchell and Brody Hayes. Maybe we can get a word with them before the start of the race tonight. But you are right. Keith Mayato currently showing at the top of the standings over Brody Hayes. So another bonus point for Keith. But nobody is close enough to fight with Seth Hatchell for that regular season championship. That Brody Hayes.
And I think if Hatchell can put together a good race tonight, he should be able to have a few bonus points. It would be nothing better than making it a maximum points day, winning the race, becoming the 10th different winner of the season, and also winning the regular season championship, which can help. It could heavily boost his points and getting 30. I believe it's 30 points, bonus points, and probably being the #1 seed.
Yeah, that's going to be huge for him. Without the race wins this season, he's just had that consistency, averaging around a 7th place average finish, but that extra bonus points from a win would be huge. Along with the regular season championship, he'd create a big margin just to kick things off. I think Adam Cabot would be scored the second seed with his 2 race wins. And then from there, I'm not sure exactly how it would filter out, but yeah, there's a few race winners. Well, Yusuf Ghali and yourself, Alec, outside of the top 20 that will not be racing. So those bonus points are just kind of gone from the rest of these contenders. So they're all going to be looking to get a victory tonight, try and close up the gap to Seth Hatchell.
Yeah, that is one thing. A lot of bonus points have been taken, especially by Yusuf Ghali, who's won the last 2 races. And then obviously, I think I was able to steal a few out at Watkins Glen. But other than that, we really look at guys that who haven't really had much of a, I don't know what you want to say, but they haven't had much success other than the early season races. And we've only had guys only having enough success to win one race. But Adam Cabot, kind of started the season off with a bang, and then he really just kind of stayed consistent, but he didn't really he didn't just win other races. He only won the first 2, and he's been close in a few of them, but just hasn't been able to finally close up and get that 3rd win.
Yeah, he is averaging a 10.7 average finish with 3 top 5, 6 top 10s, which is tied for the 4th or 5th most in the series. So he's definitely had some consistency here. A couple races I'm sure he'd like to have back, or a couple corners he'd like to have back during this season, but definitely been one of those drivers to watch each and every race. But most consistent this season, I would say it's Keith Mayato, Brody Hayes, Seth Hatchell, and Joshua Banks has been a real, very, very consistent driver. Also Ben Bafford, when he's been here, is averaging sub 10th place average finish here, so definitely another guy to watch.
For sure, yeah. Like you said, these guys have been really consistent all year, and really looking forward to see what the show that these guys can put on. I think it's going to be a good show. It's hot, it's slick outside, it's day, the sun is shining, and it's going to be shining on this track for all these 200 miles, which should open up for some good racing. I saw these guys going up on the top, and from what I've seen, it does burn up tires more, but as long as they can rubber at that top, maybe make it somewhat more competitive as the run goes on, or as the race goes on, because this track is going to take in a ton of rubber, and it's going to tighten up this car a little bit, and especially in traffic, we noticed, or that I was able to notice, is that guys burn up their tires up being right behind somebody in dirty air. So it's going to be interesting. I think clean air is going to be the name of the game, as it always is. But it's going to be interesting to see how guys can work around that. Seems like there's multiple lanes that you can use. So we'll see how that comes into play here before we take the green here, and as we take the green, go later into this race.
Yeah, and we are the clock ticking down here in the qualifying session. AJ Stravato getting a little bit more practice in, but looks like Keith Mayato will be your pole sitter. So congrats to him, and we do want to thank you for joining us here on VSPEED for tonight's race, the Marathon 300, the Below the Double Yellow Premier Series. To our starting grid now, let's see where your favorite drivers are rolling off here tonight. Charlotte Motor Speedway starting in on the front row here. It's going to be Keith Mayato, another pole for him this season in the 36 machine. His teammate Brody Hayes going to roll off from the 2nd spot. Starting in the 3rd position, it'll be Adam Cabot. Chris Samard going to be starting from 4th. Good starting position for him, and he is going to need a good result to try and advance. Matthew Zwack in the same boat here. We're going to roll off 5th. Jeff Wright going to start in the 6th position. Seth Hatchell, currently points leader, going to roll off from 7th. Joshua Banks going to start in the 8th spot. Eric Hutton, he'll start from the 9th position, and Reggie Ortega rounds out the top 10.
And starting 11th is going to be Dallas Sullivan, last night's Contender Series winner, who made it all the way up on fuel. See if he can sweep the week here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. He'll be starting 11th. Ben Bafford will be starting 12th. The last 2 weeks winner, Yusuf Ghali will be starting 13th. Michael P. Frisch, 14th. AJ Stravato in 15th. Dylan Parker in 16th. 17th, Bailey Turner. 18th, Dane Cruz. 19th, Angela Ronis. And 20th, Luke Knupp.
21st tonight is going to be Nick Gardner. 22nd will be James Loveland. And Jordan Brockel going to roll off in the 23rd position. So 23 drivers, a little smaller field, but should keep things nice and green here tonight. Good. So that's kind of something that, we'll see how these guys can manage the tires with the hot track temps. How they can do here on these seemingly could be long runs.
Could be, yeah. Before we go, should we pull in Keith Mayato?
Yeah, we can pull Keith in here.
All right. Hey, Adam, I haven't let you do it all year. How about you
All
take
right,
him?
I'll pull him in
All
here,
righty. All right.
or you can pull him in.
I'll
All
pull him
right,
in. There you go.
there he is. Keith Mayato, this is Adam and Alec in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy?
Oh no, yeah, I do.
Well, hopefully, the commentator curse doesn't hit you here, but you start on the pole tonight, another pole position. You've had so much success this season here. A long race tonight. What's your game plan? With the track position to start.
Hopefully, run up front, stay out of trouble, and try not to get myself into trouble, which I have done over the few races this season. So, try to keep it clean and hopefully be there at the end.
Well, definitely looking good so far. Fast as always. We'll see if you can get another victory here tonight. But rolling into the chase here. This is the end of the regular season. How do you feel about kind of resetting things and fighting for that championship?
Resetting would be a good idea, and hopefully, all this bad luck and being wrecked and bad timing is out of the way for the playoffs.
All right, Keith. Well, we hope so too. You've been very fast and consistent all season long. Maybe you can get your second one here, and what a time to do it. But good luck out there.
Thank you. Have fun, guys.
Hey, buddy.
All
Get him
right.
up there. There he is.
Mayato, pole sitter here tonight. We'll see what he can do.
Hey,
You're
before we
at
go, who's
Charlotte.
your pick? 300 miles.
You know what? I'm looking at Matthew Zwack. I picked him I think
Matthew
earlier this
Zwack.
season, but I'm
Think if he
picking
can
him
do
to clutch up here and get a win.
Yeah,
How
I'm
about
going to
you?
go with Seth Hatchell. I think is going to get it done tonight. Pace car's pulling off here. We're about to go for 300 miles.
300 miles at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The regular season finale is on the BTDY Marathon 300, and around goes Cabot straight off the start.
Ryan Hatchell. And a
Is it-
big one already. I think is that Matthew Zwack, isn't it?
Oh my goodness.
What?
No
And
way.
big for points, Matthew Zwack being involved. I don't know if he has a broken suspension, but already our first start wreck of the year. And
Wow.
it comes to the most crucial race, and I think Seth Hatchell might be done already.
That is crazy. Let's see what happened. It looked like Cabot got tagged from behind here. Down there in the inside lane, row number 2. Just checks up, gets
no,
into
he
Chris
spun the tires.
Samard and catches Zwack. Hatchell gets tagged a few times.
Ortega. Everybody misses, but 4 cars involved, and it looks like Frisch is going to get lucky. He started from the pits, but huge damage to Seth Hatchell. I think Hatchell might have a broken toe link, and could this allow Brody Hayes to win the regular season championship?
Taking a look at Hatchell here, trying to see what happened or what kind of damage he might have. But Matthew Zwack also collected. Chris Samard also involved in that one. Like Zwack is tracking straight and true here. Hatchell's right front, definitely big damage there. Not the way he wanted to start this one.
Yeah, no, and needing and needing just a solid points day, Hatchell I think might be done. Honestly, he's gonna have a ton of damage,
Get Samard, he got slammed in the wall, and then
and he's pitting as well. Look at all these cars pitting. I think
Oh,
they might have
man.
got damage.
yeah, big hit.
Haffer got some.
Big hit to Seth Hatchell on the right front. Looking to see if that wheel
Yeah, that
is
suspension. I
trying
think
to,
that
see if,
suspension's definitely hurt.
trying to see if it's connected still. That's the main thing.
I think it is, but he might have bent one of those toe links or maybe that A-frame up in the top. We've seen it happen. I think a perfect example this past weekend here at Charlotte Motor Speedway was Kyle Larson and Ross Chastain at the Roval. They hit the wall and they broke their toe link and they bent one of them. I think it was Chastain that bent his A-frame. That would be a huge development, obviously, for Seth Hatchell. Ortega's got some damage as well. He's staying in the pits. Dylan Parker staying in the pits, and Brockell just exiting his box right now. But huge developments, and I don't think we mentioned as well Matthew Zwack being involved.
Yeah, Zwack
That's
looks like
huge
his
for the
car.
cutoff.
It looks like his car is all right. He doesn't seem to have much damage, surprisingly. And he was a guy who really got spun around pretty good there. As Samard,
Yeah.
big hits to the wall as well. He's a driver 15 points out.
Seth Hatchell is in pit road for quite a long time. I think it might be 8 minutes of required repairs. They're gonna have to fix that bent suspension there. He's staying in there for quite a while. And I'll tell you who's loving this. Brody Hayes, who's staying in second right now. He's got a 14-point gap. If Brody Hayes can lead a lap, I don't think there's a halfway lap, right?
There is no halfway
There's no
bonus.
halfway,
No.
but there is a lead lap bonus, and if he can lead one lap tonight, all he needs to do is finish 13th, and he will be the 2022 BTDY Premier Series regular season champion. And that will be an extra few bonus points added to his name. And I don't think any of us would have saw this if Brody Hayes winning the championship. Seth Hatchell, oh, he has exited his box, so that's going to be big for Hatchell here if he can get some spots here. But I think with that car being damaged, it's going to hurt him a little bit. Can he come back for it is the real question. I think I jinxed him by picking him.
Both of our picks collected instantly in that
I know.
one. Seth's car doesn't look... It looks like they did a nice job cleaning it up, though. The right front looks pretty good. It's the right rear that's got all the damage yet, but we'll see if they can kind of hammer that out here. He's going to stop once again. Looks like AJ Stravato's brought it in.
They're popping off on fuel here.
Roll off. He was on pit road for 40 seconds. Not sure what was up with that, but we are... pace car lights are still on. Already a caution, though, in this one.
I think that's big already. You know, we haven't really talked about his wheel spin on the restarts. I don't think that's been a thing. And Charlotte, it is an older age track, but I don't think we expected to, to see that much wheel spin. I think Cabot just jammed on it, or just straight down on it, and he just spun the tires. And these cars, we know, once they crack, they get loose. These guys, so hard to correct them.
Yeah, and I'm just surprised. I mean, that was Adam Cabot. I don't know if he got tagged from behind on the start there, but
it didn't look like it. I don't know if we want to go back and look at it one more time. It just looked like he spun the tires, might have mashed the gas there. Maybe we could pull him up here and see what happened, but I don't know. Do we think we should get a word from... Oh, he's not in Discord. That's unfortunate.
We're going back to the start here and see what happened to him.
Yeah, like I said, It looked like he just spun the tires. He did no help from behind. Yeah, he just... I don't know if we want to go... Do we have an onboard with him?
Yeah, we can get an onboard here. Go to the... helmet cam.
Yeah, he just lit him up. Yeah, he just spun the rear tires.
Bit of a helpless place to be in. Look at Yusuf Ghali able to get through there.
Hatcher got so lucky not getting hit by Bailey Turner there. That could have been a crushing blow to him. But so far, Hatchell's car looks clean. Not the greatest sight for Brody Hayes. So I'm curious to see now with Hatchell being there, Hatchell having a 14 point gap there. It's going to be interesting. Right now, Brody Hayes would be ahead of him in points.
Yeah,
and so far, Jeff Wright and Angelo Rodas would be in as well on points.
Yeah, I think Matthew Zwack is hoping that those two get into some trouble here, and ultimately Brody Hayes needs to finish that 14 positions ahead of Seth Hatchell, and he would also win a tiebreaker, I think, with the race win this season.
With the race win, yeah.
So it's all going to come down to that. We'll see what Hatchell can do if the car is hurt. If he can try and maintain at least a good running position here. Mayato gets us back going, though. No real major tire spin that time for him, but looks like a little checkup behind Angelo Ronas, but everybody gets away cleanly on this restart.
Now they got to be careful. Got cold tires here. These guys haven't really gotten much left.
Oh, no!
Jeff Wright, no! Jeff Wright's going to spin off the corner, and the caution's going to come out again! Big for the cut line again!
Did he make contact with the wall? I think he kept it off of it.
He's fine.
He will lock it down, but wow, this is just
and now that's going to put him below the cut line.
Oh my goodness. I mean, there's so much time left here. It's just the matter that, I mean, these guys that they've got the pressure on them right now to advance, he just gets loose here.
Yeah, and do we talk about this? Is this pressure to make it into the chase? We talked about cold tires, and they just... I don't know what happened. He just got loose off the corner trying to save it. And he just spins. I don't think anybody else really had that problem. I don't know, just push it too hard just so early on cold tires.
Yeah, let's go on the in-car with him.
For a while. This is the case.
Yeah, and he couldn't save it. I mean, once it was starting to go around, he just kind of turned it back to the right and just let it slide sideways down the straightaway like that. But close call. Could have been a race ender if he hadn't been so good to save it there. But yeah, all the way to the tail end of the field. 2 cautions here in the first 10 laps. Really, the first 5 laps.
Yeah, really. So this is a 300-mile race.
It'll be a long night if it continues like this.
And might I point out, with Jeff Wright spinning, that is a points penalty.
Oh, causing a caution.
Yep.
Right.
So that's a 3-point penalty if I believe so, right?
That may be causing 2. I'm not exactly
Is
sure.
it 2 or 1? I'm not really sure here.
A couple guys overshooting the pit box here. We'll have to talk to the admins about that. I'm not exactly sure on the rule book for causing cautions, but a few guys come down pit road here. Jeff Wright brings it in. Michael Frisch, Dylan Parker's brought it in. Dane Cruz, Luke Canuck, Loveland, and Raquel all bring it in for tires and fuel, it appears, for some of them, and fuel only for others.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we've barely run any laps. We've really only run about a quarter lap.
Yeah, not really sure there, but interesting to see here.
I guess
I'm gonna have to check here.
any advantage that you can get really to
I guess, yeah.
try and make it a little farther on fuel or what have it. But very interesting to see all this. Right now, biggest mover is Angelo Ronas.
Good for him.
Up 13 spots somehow in all of this. Bailey Turner as well. But, I mean, they've really had to do almost nothing just to avoid the accidents.
Interesting. So trying to look here for caution in the rule book here. I don't see anything so far that I see for points. I don't see anything. I might have to ask Mr. Starling here, who runs the lead, see what he thinks here.
We'll have to get some word on that. Pace car lights are off. We'll be going green again here. Keith Mayatos led every lap. Hasn't really had to lead very much. I mean, had to lead across the line pretty much to keep the race lead.
Yeah.
So it'll be Mayato, Hayes, Hutton, Turner, and then Joshua Banks, and it looks like Angelo Ronas is going to be in the third row there. Matthew Zwack has made his way all the way back up to 8th position. And Seth Hatchell is in 12th right now.
No points penalty for bringing out the caution.
All right.
It's just an EOL.
More on that. So that's good news for Jeff Wright.
Yeah.
He's already at the back. So.
But looking here, I don't know if we want to pull up the points graphic before we go green here. Wright was only 13 above right now. So looking here, I believe Angelo is going to be jumping Jeff here, and I believe Zwack now would be the last car in by about 3 or 4 points.
Yes, we'll keep this up for a few moments, but it's going to change a lot, and we don't have live points tracking. You know, maybe one day we'll have that feature, and that would be a really awesome thing to have there on the side of the screen, but we can kind of do the math in our heads at the very least for the moment. But here we go. Pace car is off into the restart zone. Mayato and Hayes. Gonna check him up here. Outside line, big checkup from Hayes. Mayato gets away very nicely. And here comes Eric Hutton challenging. Hutton, one of those drivers who's not going to be in the chase, but he could take a win away.
Definitely could. He's up to second.
He's had speed here this season in a few races. Hasn't had the finishes that he's needed.
Yeah, we've made it down the back stretch so far and into turn 3 for the first time tonight. Joshua Banks up on the bottom there in a different looking race car tonight. That white pink 35 number on the doors and on the roof as we finally complete our first lap of green flag racing. Keith Mayato will lead him down into turn 1. Banks clears Brody Hayes and then Bailey Turner side by side. Reggie Ortega using the outside lane on Ben Bafford, trying to get Bailey Turner, but it looks like Ortega will stay side by side with Bafford. And here comes Seth Hatchell already back up inside the top 10.
Yeah, a lot of comers and goers already in this race. I mean, we've barely even run any laps, but there's been a lot of position changes. How about Hatchell? Yeah, in 8th spot. Car's obviously not too bad off. He didn't take an extended pit stop there under the last one. We are 3 wide farther back. Samard, Sullivan, and Yusuf Ghali racing it up. That is for the 11th, 12th, and 13th positions, but they settled it out to 2 wide. Matthew Zwack in 10th. Now they go back to 3 wide.
And look at battle for the lead. Eric Hutton trying to lead. I believe this is going to be his first laps led of the season. Eric Hutton takes the lead. And the Yeti 88 car, Hutton will lead lap 13. clean. Mayato into second, and now back for sixth position. Looks like Seth Hatchell on the outside of Bailey Turner. Behind them, Baffert, Rodas, and Gawley rounding out the top 10.
Hatchell on the move. He's actually up from where he started, so just scratch everything that happened here. Basically, we've started over, and Hatchell moving back forward here, as well as Matthew Zwack inside the top 12. He's currently, it looks like he's saving a little bit here, try and preserve those tires for the long run. There is about 2.5 seconds of fall off. Zwack, who's been one of the best on the long run all season, trying to do that again here. Battle for the third position. Brody Hayes takes it away. Joshua Banks drifts up the track. Here comes Reggie Ortega going to slide through, and now Hatchell trying to break into the top 5.
Hatchell having a great comeback, and this is what a championship caliber move can be. And winning this regular season championship can be huge, but a championship caliber move could be monumental for Seth Hatchell's postseason chances. Gawley trying to make a position up on Baffert does, and now he goes underneath Banks here for the 5th or 6th position, and he'll take it away here up ahead of them, up ahead of Seth Hatchell. Brody Hayes gets overtaken by Reggie Ortega. Ortega slots into the 3rd position.
Yeah, really nice run here. Reggie needs almost every point he can muster from tonight's event. I think he's 26 back coming in here. So he really does need to earn everything he can. A race win and lead the most laps and all of that to try and get his way into the top 12. I think it's going to be very, very tight if he does that. But Hatchell, how about this? Looking to the outside of his teammate Brody Hayes. That's going to be for 4th. So it looks like Brody maybe on the saving strategy right here. Here comes Yusuf, looks to the inside.
Gawley trying to go for 3 in a row here. Looks like he's really starting to get used to these next-gen cars. As now he'll look underneath Brody Hayes. Hayes shuts the door, but Gawley going to use that AstroTurf and get underneath Hayes. They're almost a little contact into the corner. Hayes lets him go, but now he charges back on the outside. And just ahead of him, you can see that Black Rifle coffee machine going to the outside of Keith Mayato. Oh, Hutton makes a little contact with Mayato. Mayato up to the outside now for the lead, and now here comes Ortega.
What a battle here inside the top 10. Really every position and changing hands every single lap. Mayato, big slide.
What
wow.
What a statement. Here comes Hutton charging on the inside. Ortega charging on the outside behind him. Now here comes Seth Hatchell and Yusuf Gawley.
Yeah, Yusuf has been very aggressive here, pushing guys through, trying to cut the track in the tri-oval. How about Mayato? I can't believe he held on to the race lead after that slide. There was smoke coming from those tires.
What a huge save and a big moment for Keith Mayato, the pole sitter, gets back up to the lead. But now he's going to have to preserve those tires and be easy with them now. They're hot. And now he's going to be sliding around behind Mayato. You can see the red and black car up on the outside. That's Ortega. And then on the inside, that gray, darkish silver with black 88 numbers on the inside fighting. That's Eric Hutton. And then there's Seth Hatchell in that blue and black 8 VSPEED Chevrolet. On the bottom, the red and black 54 of a Gawley. And the silver bullet is what I'm going to start calling it, of Brody Hayes in the 10.
Yeah, they are all on the move here and pulling away from the... Oh, and Reggie Ortega! Right in front
he's in the wall!
Oh, man, that was in front of Hayes and Hatchell.
I think he's fine. I don't know. He definitely hurt the car, but he looks fine so far.
Go back and take a look here. Just looks like charged the exit, got loose, and just overcorrect. Big hit right in front of Seth Hatchell, and then another contact right there. Definitely big damage for Reggie.
Battle for second. Looks like Gawley's going to take the position on Hutton. Hayes now follows for 3rd. Here comes Hatchell looking for 4th. Baffert a little bit of ways away. He's in 5th or 6th right now. Hutton's starting to drop back. It seems like the guys that push their tires really starting to pay the prices as we get later into this run.
Side by side for 4th position, Hatchell. He's made the recovery already here. Just 20 laps completed in this race. That's a 10th of the way. Right there is Ben Baffert closing in. Ben, one of those guys who's known for ultra saving, super saving week after week, and it's worked for him once already with the race win at Richmond, or was it Iowa?
Iowa.
Yeah, sorry, the bigger Richmond.
In a few weeks. Yeah, we go to Richmond in a few weeks, which will be an interesting race. As Baffert now takes 6th and now looks for 5th. or sorry, he takes fifth, now looks for fourth on Eric Hunt, and Baffert really starting to turn up the pace here, but at the front, Yusuf Ghali, looks like Mayato gets loose, and Ghali already looking to go 3 in a row, so he'll look to take the lead away from Keith Mayato.
That 54 car has really turned it on here the last handful of weeks. Kind of just came out of nowhere. He just, something must have clicked for him, because he has been fast ever since. And good on the long run. We got Jordan Brackel, yeah, down on the apron. Big damage on the 84. Yeah. The fender flapping around on that car. What happened with him?
That looks like he might have hit the walls. Ghali takes the lead. Oh, he got loosened. Oh, hard hit.
Huge hit. No caution. Oh, and hits it again.
Oh, well, that would have been a hard hit in real life, I tell you. But, yeah, it's going to be a day ender for Jordan Brackel. Unfortunately, he was having an all right run so far, and now he's going to fall a few laps down with some damage. Can't get it fixed. There's unlimited amounts of time to repair these cars. Is up at the front. Ghali got by Mayato, and now Mayato in second. Brody Hayes up into third. Baffert into fourth. And look at that. We got challenges for fifth. Angelo Ronis building that points gap on the cushion to Matthew Zwack. He'll take away fifth. Michael P. Frisch looking for sixth. Right in front of Seth Hatchels. Oh, Reggie Ortega gets loose off of turn 4 into the AstroTurf. He'll save it. As right now, Cruz and Sullivan will go by as they almost make contact.
Let's take a look at the replay here, but Reggie's struggling with that end of the racetrack, and the tire is probably pretty hot and unhappy. You can see he is sliding that whole time, and he is lucky to have not hit the end of pit lane and not hit anybody through the tri-oval here. But it got tight for sure at this moment when they were 3 wide. Oh boy, that is not what you want to see, but Reggie's struggling here. Oh, still bobbling. Almost gets into the outside wall. Here comes Luke Knupp. This is going to be for 18th. Reggie going the wrong direction.
You just got to cool those tires back down, but up at the front now, Yusuf Ghali back under pressure from Keith Mayato. Brody Hayes under pressure from Ben Baffert, and slowly creeping into this battle, Angelo Ronis in that 21 Bernie Liddick Chevrolet.
Angelo looking for his first career points-paying win. He was the winner of the Clash, but has not won a points-paying event here in Below the Double Yellow. He's been so close so many times. Looks like he could have the speed up 14 positions in the first 26 laps. Really on the move here, and he's closing up on these guys faster than the top 4.
And he was about a half-tenth faster that last lap than the leader, Yusuf Ghali, which would be his teammate. And now Baffert now challenging up to the outside of Brody Hayes. Ghali now looks like he's starting to get loose in that cleaner. So does Keith Mayato. Mayato gets loose, and now Hayes and Baffert to capitalize on it. That apron is dangerous in the middle of these corners.
Now, what's crazy is they are not at the, the peak of their fall off here. They still have about another 8 or 9 tenths of time to lose per lap. And Yusuf Ghali, you can see Yusuf starting to get a little bit loose here. And both Brody Hayes and Ben Baffert, who've been 2 of the best on the long run, trying to make their way towards them. You see Hayes kind of came down the track there, kind of closed off the nose, closed off the air for Ben Baffert, who slid up the track a little bit.
Angelo Ronis now looking underneath Keith Mayato for 4th. Ronis is flying right now. If he's not pushing these tires, Angelo Ronis is looking great to have a great run and great momentum going into the All-Star race and into the chase, and making his way in comfortably right now. Now multiple points, and I believe Michael Frisch might have dropped connection. No, he's back. But Baffert now closing in on the back of Hayes. It looks like Ghali, he's either trying to save his tires or that clean air is really getting that car loose.
Yeah, all of these guys, you can see they are just waiting to get back on the throttle, just kind of trying to feather it. They're off throttle early, off throttle, barely on, and then just ease back in, and still loose for Ben Baffert. That is just crazy. That is how slick it is out here tonight. Making things exciting, and taking a look through the field here. Seth Hatchell's back to 8th position. Matthew Zwack behind him in 9th. Currently on the move as well, faster than the top 3 drivers. So keep an eye on the 18 machine to move forward. Bailey Turner 10th. Joshua Banks and Adam Cabot do battle right now for 11th and 12th. So it looks like Cabot will take the spot away.
And up at the front, Brody Hayes. looking up to the outside of Yusuf Ghali, side drafting down the backstretch. Ghali charges into the corner on the inside. He'll take it, he'll slide back up, he'll get the back end loose. Hayes trying to take the air away from him. Ghali keeps the lead. Hayes tries to cross over. Baffert waiting in the wings as these two get together. Only 30 laps into this 300-mile race, as Yusuf Ghali going to keep that clean air, and I think Brody Hayes wants it.
Yeah, and really, all three of these drivers, nothing to lose. You know, Yusuf just going for wins.
Oh, Brody!
Big
Oh,
side.
Brody, no! What a save!
Wow. I cannot believe he hung on to it. That is one of the hardest things to do in these next-gen machines. As we go back here, let's take a look at it. Just gets so loose at the exit of the corner. And then comes down. It's that turning back to the right. He was about 20 or 30 degrees back to the right there.
But Ben Baffert is a very lucky man, and I think he's a very happy man, because that one could have been the end of Ben.
It would have been the end of Ben and Brody, and maybe even Angelo
Ronis. Yeah.
Who just needs to survive tonight and get a solid top 10 finish, I think would pretty much do it for him.
And behind these guys, Michael P. Frisch starting to make some moves. He almost looked like he got by Keith Mayato. He'll tuck back in right behind him, and then Eric Hutton side by side for, I believe that's the 9th position or 8th position. Seth Hatchell and Matthew Zwack. Zwack trying to get as many points as he can. And I think the battle, as it's looking right now, the battle is between Zwack, as you can see Hatchell getting loose down the backstretch. The battle is between Zwack and Jeff Wright on points.
Yeah, and it is very close. Zwack came into this one, 9 points behind Angelo Ronis, but about 13 to
13.
Jeff Wright.
Zwack.
Yeah, and Wright just lost his spot to James Loveland
and
Reggie Ortega.
More.
Yeah, Reggie Ortega. Oh, and Loveland, big bobble there. And give those spots right back.
It back here. And Frisch now side by side with Keith Mayato. Mayato using the outside lane, Frisch using the inside lane. These guys are going to be begging for tires, and I think we'll start seeing them probably coming in about lap, I don't know, 50.
Yeah, some of these guys have pit and taken tires already in this race. I'm not sure how many sets they have here tonight.
Get a look here. I believe they have 6.
Mayato is just so loose up here, but still hanging on, battling for 5th. Wanted to keep that clean air, but he has lost it, and he is starting to lose ground. About a second and a half back from the leaders now. And Hutton and Zwack are closing in on him again, but I think really it's just
Seth Hatchell. Oh, I think Seth Hatchell might have had a problem. He's back at 21st.
You got going on here. Oh, he's got more damage on the right front.
I think he might have hit the wall.
Oh, he did. Right behind him, Bailey Turner. And, big correction. Oh, that's a pretty solid.
He might be fine. It's a hard hit, but I don't think he broke the toe link.
I don't think he did, but he is not going to be.
Just... Man, we're only 30 laps in. No, he looks fine. That things keep going, though, but he's got a lot of right front damage. That splitter is messed up.
Yeah, the right front, whole right side crumpled in once again. They just fixed that. The crew probably yelling at him. You know, keep that thing clean for us, but still rolling. Only about a second and a half behind Loveland.
That is really good for Brody Hayes. Helps Jeff Wright get a spot. Matthew Zwack in 6th. Man, the points are going to be so tight going into the once everything is done and after this race, and we might have to stay a little bit longer post race to find out what those points look like for the chase.
Yeah, we're gonna wait till everything's tabulated. They're pretty fast about it here, so
they are. Yes.
We probably will be able to see who's advanced into the top 12. It is gonna be close though. Matthew Zwack, who came in just 9 points behind Angelo Ronis, not closing up the gap on Ronis, but only 13 behind Jeff Wright, and that is the difference right now. 13 positions between those two. So I think it'd be a tie. And I'm not sure what the tiebreaker would be between those two, because neither has a win.
I believe Jeff Wright has a second, and so does Matthew Zwack.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if it then falls to the top 5.
I think Zwack would get it because Zwack has 2 second-place finishes, where I believe Jeff Wright only has 1. I'm not sure how that would be calculated. We'll have to ask Nick Starling. I believe he'll be typing here pretty soon. As Ben Baffert now trying to look for the lead here on Yusuf Ghali. Got to ask here, Starling here. We'll get an update on how points work. Is now Baffert charging on the inside. Ghali loses the back end here. Now Baffert going to shove him. Now looks down to the inside. here. Now Baffert looking for the lead here. I don't think Baffert's really led a lot here on these mile
Oh,
and a
he's
half.
pushing up.
Slide up. And almost some contact. I tell you who's loving this. Angelo Ronis right behind them.
Oh!
Oh, Baffert gets loose.
Through the grass.
Through the grass, and he's going to save it.
Nice job hanging on to it. Here comes Angelo Ronis, though, going to challenge to the outside. He'll back out of it. Just slide in behind Baffert. But, man, it's just like anytime anyone gets close to the leader, seems like they have problems. They start sliding around.
Comes Angelo Ronis.
Angelo's look pretty stable compared to everybody out here. I'm not sure what he's doing differently, but here he goes sliding up the track a little bit.
Baffert really shoving him down there. These cars can run side by side. Oh, man, look at that. Angelo Ronis to second. Man, can Angelo get his big win he's been waiting for his entire BTDY career? And if he could, it would be huge, and it would get him into the chase number 1, and it'd put him in about the 8th or 9th seed.
And he's had a good, solid season, you know, very consistent as always. You know, I think Angelo was in pretty much this position last season as well. Right around the cut line, but ultimately had a very good playoff run, or chase run, rather. And, you know, this season, it's looking like it could be the same. He's really starting to improve here. I think even last week had a pretty good run going for a little while in that race. But we'll see where he can end up here. We're just past a 5th of the way in this one. Long ways to go.
I'll tell you who's really starting to move up right now. So Jeff Wright has blinked out. Now he's back. Now Dane Cruz is really starting to move up. He's in 10th. Oh, he got loose out the corner and loses another spot. But Cruz has really been setting some good lap times these last 2 laps. He's about the 2nd fastest car on the racetrack.
Yeah, it looks like Ronis about the quickest, and then Hutton has started to pick it up again, but that last lap not so good for him. Baffert, taking
look
second.
underneath and Ronis, and he'll take that 2nd place back.
Do swapping, that's exactly what Yusuf Ghali wants to see. I mean, he's going to be able to conserve a little bit here as they battle and try and just focus, you know, out in front of him rather than behind him. That's the big thing here with the cars as loose as they are. I think pretty much everybody's...
Oh, James Lemlin. Loose off the corner. I believe he might be fine, and he saved it. As Eric Hutton... Oh, Michael Frisch! Loose off the corner.
James Loveland's... Wow, very close.
Save. Frisch also, I think Frisch might have had a problem that last lap as well. He saved it.
Low here, let's take a look.
I think he might have gotten to the wall.
Oh, big hit.
Yeah, that one could definitely do something to the toe link there. He looks fine.
Yeah, he's a little off the pace here, losing positions.
The tires are hot. This track is very, very slick, and I think it's because we haven't had all these cars run onto the racetrack. Now they're all together, and this next run, once they put tires on this track, is going to be way tighter than what it was with all the rubber being laid down. And I think we'll have guys start pitting here in the next 5 laps, definitely the next 10 laps, but definitely, but I would see, I could see some guys short pitting here in the next 5, but I think everybody's going to start coming in within the next 10.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be soon. These guys are crying for him here. I'm sure the pace right now about 2 seconds off the quickest times of the race, and you know, that's about the time where you really do want those fresh tires, because they are working it out there tonight. Nobody has it easy. Even the guys that have tried to conserve are still sliding around like crazy.
Yeah, so if I just got word from Nick Starling, if there is a tiebreaker between anybody in the regular season, it goes to the best average finish.
Interesting. Oh, it's going to be close then, because even this race would factor into it, right? So
it would.
And let's take a look at average finishes. I'm going to look in they do have a nice point system here.
They do, and I believe Zwack would have the better average finish. So far, Wright has moved up some spots. Right now, Matthew Zwack did turn the fastest lap of the last lap. And I think the real question is if Zwack were to finish 3rd and Jeff Wright were to finish right where he is in 16th, Zwack would get the tiebreakers. As I say that, Matthew Zwack really loose off the corner.
He must be watching the broadcast, heard his name, and looked away for a second, able to keep the position in 4th.
As well.
Yeah, this is pretty wild to see all of these guys sliding around, and you've got others like you got Dane Cruz up into the top 10. How about Chris Samard? Nice solid race in 9th position after getting put in the wall there on the opening, start. He's hanging
Yeah.
tough here, right behind Bailey Turner. Chris needs a good race here. It's gonna be tough. He'd have to go up there and pretty much get a top 3 and hope for some
Frisch,
misfortune from everybody else.
I believe Frisch pulled it off the racetrack there.
Yeah, heavy damage for him. Looks like he's done. Jordan Brockel out of it too. So that leaves just 20 cars in the field. James Loveland well off the rest of the field. Then Reggie Ortega, Dallas Sullivan. Seth Hatchell's managed pretty well after making contact with the wall. He's up to 17th.
Yes.
That would still win him the championship, the regular season championship at the moment. So
It would.
resiliency from the 8, and that's exactly what it takes.
I believe Brody Hayes has led a lap though.
Nope, has not led
He has
any.
not. Never mind. Never mind.
Yeah, so he's been close. He's been
Very close. He has been.
He's still not too far off.
We did have a few laps of caution. You know, looking at Ben Baffert, Angelo Ronis, they have been, they have, or at least Angelo Ronis has not pitted yet. So, 51 laps is. I'm starting to hear guys starting to pit here. Cannot believe this. Luke Knupp starting to pit here, and that'll probably start getting the cycle going here. And I think big things here as well. You got to be careful for the transition.
Coming
We've
in
seen it be a
from
problem all year.
15th, he's going to do a nice job, nice and smooth. Little lock up there at the very end, but Luke Knupp will bring it in, and we'll see who is next to bring it down. Looks like Matthews whack in the wall.
It's right to the wall.
He's hit it pretty good. I think he may
They break the car.
He may have a broken toe link. The car not looking too healthy right here.
I think he broke the car.
Oh man, let's take a
He
look.
did.
That could be the end of the run for Matthew. Oh, what a hit!
Ooh.
Yeah,
That's a hard hit. That's gonna be it.
Matthews whack, yeah, the right front just wobbling around in there. So that's gonna be it for Matthews whack. Season just gonna barely miss out. Seth Hatchell will bring it in here to try and clean up some damage, get those tires changed.
And that's going to be it for Matthews Wax season. And I think Jeff Wright's going to feel pretty comfortable unless Dallas Sullivan can, you know, pull a miracle out here.
Oh, what did we see last night? He was very good on the fuel strategy, and last week, let's not forget what he did last week. Even 6 cars, you know, on the lead lap. By staying out late in the race and stretching it on fuel. Dallas, he is quite the strategic mastermind and can find his way to the front when it matters. You know, just on strategy alone, not even on pace. Don't ever count out that 46. He's probably got something up his sleeve here, and looks like he's still hanging on in 15th.
I'll tell you who's really starting to pick up the pace lately has been Eric Hutton. Eric Hutton. You know, he kind of fell off. Look how he cooled his tires back down, and he's kind of been on the charge lately. As like we said, Luke Knupp, Seth Hatchell have brought it into pit lane. Yusuf Ghali's still leading, but he's got pressure from Ben Baffert. Baffert all over the back bumper of that 54.
He is there now, the battle for the lead. Angelo Ronis was up there in the mix as well. He's still about a half-second back. But yeah, here comes Baffert. Is he going to give him a bumper? He's going to tap him! Interesting. I mean, we still got so much left in this. He could show a little patience here.
I think Baffert wasn't anticipating him to be that loose in the corner. Great save by Ghali, but look at who that brought back into the fight. That brought back Angelo Ronis, but Ronis is going to short pit him.
Going to try and undercut them. This will be about a 2-second difference if they don't pit immediately.
And Ghali just got passed by Baffert.
Wow. And also Joshua Banks on the pit road. I see Ronis. It looks like Mayato. Oh, wait, sorry. Not Joshua
I think
Banks.
Ronis was the only one in.
Yeah, just Ronis. Looking at the wrong column in my scoring.
Bringing it in.
Oh, Reggie Ortega, yep.
Mayato bringing it in as well. Baffert and Ghali stay out another lap. Hayes bringing it into pit road. Cruz stays out some more.
Oh, and Mayato!
Mayato gets killed on the pit entry by Banks.
Oh my goodness, how many times is Keith
Just
Mayato going to get run over onto pit lane? Here comes
his car. Here's Sullivan.
Gosh, you just
Wow. Just don't know anymore.
cannot catch a break in that 36. I mean, he did nothing wrong, just got slammed into. and kept it off the pit wall. So
That'd be fine, but he definitely got a lot of rear end damage. Now Eric Hutton bringing it in as well. Had a steam there, but he'll slow down. We got to talk about this pit road. That is a 45 mile an hour pit lane, so you're gonna really have to slow down. But Miata lost a ton of time there. So did Banks, but Banks gonna lose a lot less than Miata. So barely jacking up the right sides on Miata. Luke Knupp, I believe, is gonna jump everybody. So is Angelo Ronis. Ronis gets by a lot of guys here. Didn't open up as much of a gap as I thought he would on Brody Hayes. About 2 seconds on Hayes here. As now Golly brings it in, which makes me believe Baffert will probably bring it in the next lap. Cabot is in. Cruz stays out. Parker stays out. Looks like Stravato stays out, and everybody else has brought it in, except Jeff Wright being the last car on old tires. Looking so far, it looks like Angelo's going to jump everybody here. Luke Knupp doing a great job as well. Eric Hutton comes out pretty good so far. And now Ben Baffert bringing in the leader here.
An eye on him, and he's going to push it onto pit lane.
That's actually not as... I've seen some guys pushing it even further than that. I think he's just being safe here.
Bailey Turner stays out. He'll lead a lap.
And Dane Cruz stays out. Dylan Parker stays out as well. And AJ Stravato staying out.
Jeff Wright also stays out another lap.
Hoping for that caution. Bailey Turner's got to be on the end of that, on that fuel tank at least, and I believe he's bringing it in this lap. And he is, man. 58 laps for Bailey Turner.
That is a long time. Here he comes onto the pit lane. Locks it up big time. But
he'll make it, though.
I think he'll be all right. Dane Cruz takes over the top spot.
And looks like Angelo Ronis will get the lead away from Baffert. And now Hayes in the second. How about Luke Knupp?
Oh, big slide. Third? Dane Cruz, your race leader at the moment. Well, these guys.
He's on 50. Oh man, Golly's gonna force the issue there. Yeah, Cruz bringing it in this time. 54 laps on his. I believe he was more on the edge of his fuel window, and so is Dylan Parker as well. But man, Eric.
Oh, Dylan flying in.
Oh man, he's gonna make it too.
I cannot believe he stayed off the 26.
And Jeff Wright bringing it in as well.
Yeah, he locked it up too.
We are at this part of the run now where guys now know what to expect. They've been on a 50-lap run. They know what to do with their tires now, I think, is the thing here. And obviously, we've had a lot of guys drop out or get in some incidents. So now it's up to these guys to just be easy with it. Still a long way to go. We're not halfway yet, but about 30 laps away from halfway. Sorry, 36 laps away from halfway.
Yeah, as you see Jeff Wright falling through the running order as he is on pit lane. If anybody
not gonna matter.
I don't see anybody getting penalties. That's amazing. Here comes Yusuf Ghali trying to take second away from Brody Hayes. But Angelo Ronis out in front, trying to lead some laps here.
Hayes really pinching him off the corner. Usually you can see him get loose on that bottom. I think that's one thing. You don't want to slide your tires. It's a big thing. You do not want to slide your tires here.
Yeah, it's loose enough as is.
Gonna let him go. And you can see Golly has 2-lap fresher tires, or 3-lap fresher tires than Angelo Ronis there, and I don't think Ronis had a great pit stop, but he might not have had the great exit and great entrance into the pit road that Yusuf Ghali did. With Luke Knupp, though, great strategy by Knupp. I know he has 13-lap older tires, but it seems like it's working so far. He's up into 7th, but he's going to really have to hang on so far, as he's got 6-7-lap older tires than some guys.
The battle for the lead. There goes Yusuf Ghali, going to go right on by. Back to the point is the 54. And then Ben Baffert, who was right there challenging him and actually had taken the lead away, almost 3 seconds back from him, hitting 1 lap later than the 54. And he actually, he was quite a bit slower on pit lane. It was almost 9/10 of a second slower, so he lost a bunch there. And obviously, Yusuf very good on entry and exit.
I think a big thing we didn't talk about. We talked about Baffert didn't have an aggressive pit entry, kind of babied it in, and I think that kind of costed him. And as now Golly has a 2.5-second lead over Baffert. I don't think 1 lap of tires is going to be that much. Golly did push it though, and Baffert's kind of backed it off here about. Was faster than that last lap. I think Golly, though, really looked like he was pushing the issue for some laps, but definitely jumped Baffert here. We got another 133 to go, so long way to go here about a full truck length, 100 miles into this race now. How about that? A third of the way.
Yeah, a third of the way. Seth Hatchell, who short pitted, finds himself inside the top 10, so he's gained some ground for the moment, trying to claw his way back here. He'll fall off. He is falling off a little bit more than the guys who pitted later, but you know, it's going to equalize at some point. It really kind of just falls off to what, 32 and a half second laps, and then you're not really losing anything. But with the damage and everything, managing pretty well to stay up in you know, in the fight.
Eric Hutton, how about Eric Hutton? I think we've mentioned him a few times, but Hutton having a great run as well. He's kind of kept himself into the top, inside the top 10 this entire race. I think he led a few laps at the beginning of it, kind of fell back off, and then kind of got some pace back in that 88 Yeti Coolers Chevy Camaro, and he's got the freshest tires of anybody in the top 10 so far. So how about that?
How about Luke Knupp right here in front of him, though, as well? He's got the oldest tires of anyone in the top 10, but hanging well up here.
And a shout out to Chris Samard. Chris Samard wasn't too far back on points. I think we haven't really mentioned him as well. Only 17. Was he 17 points ahead? Or behind, sorry?
15.
15, so also very possible. But that was 15 off of Ronis, and that's going to be another 19 off of Jeff Wright. Wright running 18th right now. The only one that was almost able to touch him was going to be Zwack, but Zwack out of the race. I think everybody's feeling pretty comfortable, unless Dallas Sullivan pulls something crazy here and can either win this race or get a top 5. It looks like Jeff Wright and Angelo Ronis could be cruising into the chase so far. Still a long way to go.
Dallas just a little too far back, just not there on pace tonight. We'll see what he can do with strategy. Is up in front of him, AJ Servato, Reggie Ortega fighting for position. This is 15th and 16th. And really tight as they work their way into turn 3. AJ with fresher tires by about 5 laps.
Yeah, should be
having a hard time. Yeah, just got by, a little bobble there, but clears the 2 of Reggie Ortega, no issue at all.
Battle inside the top 10 and inside the top 5. Banks just gets by Knupp and gets by Hatchell here. Hatchell falls back to 10th. Knupp down to 10th. Banks down up to 8th. Hatchell down to 9th here. And we just had the cameras on him. Chris Samar now getting overtaken by Adam Cabot for the 5th position. Cabot now inside the top 5 here for the first time tonight, other than where he started and then got into that first lap wreck. Actually triggered the first start wreck.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's had a good recovery. So has Seth Hatchell. Zwack had a great recovery. The only one I would say that hasn't really recovered out of that was Reggie Ortega.
I mean, Reggie was having a good run up there, but he slammed the wall pretty hard a couple times, and I don't think he's been able to get it fixed up all that much. It's like, yeah, the right front and the left side even with some scrapes on it. So he's struggling back here in 16th position. Behind him, Jeff Wright just not having the night that he needs. But, you know, if a couple more cars fall out of this thing, I think he's pretty much guaranteed in, unless Chris Samard or Dallas Sullivan can, well, I think even still, well, no, yeah, it's really him and Angelo Ronis, and Angelo having a fantastic night. Led a couple laps running in second. Here comes Ben Bafford challenging for third. The back bumper of Brody Hayes. And Brody catches the apron.
And the apron is so deadly, as you can see. Brody fishtailing off the corner. Saves it. And now Bafford takes third.
And it is pretty spread out here. You see Chris Samard back there in the 6th position. And then it's a huge gap. About 3 seconds back to Eric Hutton in 7th. Another 2.5 back to Joshua Banks in 8th. Hatchell, Knupp, and Bailey Turner all pretty close together. Turner on the move here. Fresher tires, much fresher than Hatchell and Knupp. He's going to look to the inside. Able to get by to 29.
And battle change for second, I should say. Ben Bafford underneath Angelo Ronis, and he'll go into second. So the top 2 cycling back up to the front here. And Adam Cabot now starting to close in on Brody Hayes, and Hayes starting to close in on Ronis. Gallia 1.6 second lead over Ben Bafford, who's in second. Pretty spread out throughout the field here. Once we get into about the top 5 cars are relatively close, separated about 3 seconds apiece, or 3 seconds within the top 5. As Brody Hayes is really loose, and looks like he's going to lose a position to Adam Cabot here off of turn 4. As Cabot goes up to 4. Cabot now slowly but surely creaking his way back up in that Atlas number 17 Chevrolet. It looks like Hayes really lost a lot of that tire life getting loose on that apron, and it seemed, I don't know if it was, he said it felt like he just packed up air on the back end, and the back end just kind of snapped.
Yeah, Cabot with the 2-lap tire advantage over him as well, which at this point in the run could be pretty significant.
Turner just passed Banks here. Now Turner with the freshest tires inside the top 10, setting some pretty good lap times, about 0.3 of a second faster than Yusuf Ghali.
Those will start to level out here in probably about 10 more laps, but yeah, not bad for Bailey Turner, having a nice solid night. Started 17th and up to 8th. He has led a lap here during the pit cycle, but you can never count out the 24. Also pretty good with the strategy. Battle back here, Dylan Parker, Seth Hatchell, the blue and black machines go at it, and looks like Dylan Parker going to win that battle. About a 10-lap difference on the tires. Now he has the freshest tires in the top 10.
Yeah. He and Cruz pitted 1 lap later than Bailey Turner, and I believe they pitted, other than Yusuf Ghali, they pitted about 4 laps after Ghali came in, so they got a decent amount of tire advantage. Curious to see, once we get to the end of this race, how tire strategies start playing. I believe we'll have at least 1 more pit stop after, so about 2 more pit stops to go in this race before these crews start packing up, and they're leaving it all to the driver. As Cruz gets by Hatchell, and now he'll set his eyes on Banks and should make quick work of Banks here, who's on, I believe, 7-lap older tires.
Yeah, Banks has caught the wall with the right front on that car as well. Pretty big damage. Similar damage to Seth Hatchell. Yeah. Those 2 drivers both looking for their first win of the season. Hard to believe with how many strong finishes and runner-ups they've had. Cabot moves to 3rd now.
Cabot, we've got by Angelo Ronas. Ronas starting to struggle a little bit with the rear end of that car. These guys are really starting to wheel it around here. 20 laps, got about another 25 to go on these tires. Looking at the fall off, what did you say? They flatline about 32 6s, 7s?
Yeah, 32 6s, 5 6s. Ronas 32.9 on the last lap, so he had a real. Oh, and he's in the wall. And
no.
Able to keep it rolling here, but Brody Hayes is going to look to the inside. Take it away. Angelo really struggling. He must have just heated the tires up a little bit too much. Another driver we got to go back and check out, Keith Mayatta, who got tagged coming onto pit lane. He's starting to close up on Luke Knupp. That'll be for 13th. And 7-lap advantage on tires for Keith. Look for him to get back inside the top 10. Luke, really big bobble there out of turn 4. And then it is Hatchell and Banks not too far up the road as well.
Luke Knupp is on the oldest tires. He's about 30 laps onto his tires here. So he's relatively strong. He pushed. But 30 laps, obviously you can tell Keith Mayatta about to pass him on about 6-lap older tires. He's doing a good job. He's definitely gotten ahead where he was. I think he was running about 16th. And he's up to 13th. So overall a net gain.
Yeah, and he's still going down.
Hold on.
Yeah, he's basically bottomed out here and plateaued at the 32.6 margins here. Is Hatchell and Banks going at it? Looks like Hatchell will take the spot back up to 11th now.
I'll tell you, slowly but surely, Baffert is reeling in Yusuf Ghali. But I think the big one really is Adam Cabot. Adam Cabot has been on rails these last few laps here. Not as fast as Ghali, but a little bit faster than Baffert. But he's worked his way up to 3rd on green flag runs. And he's really starting to move in that car. And I'll tell you who's starting to move is Chris Samard. Samard's really starting to get some good pace. And that 37 is Angelo Ronas gets really loose off the corner. And now Samard's going to go by on the outside. Ronas is going to try to keep those rears under him here. I think the best case for Samard is he's going to need Ronas to have a problem. And Ronas really hasn't had a problem tonight other than pushing those rears hard this last run.
Yeah, Chris is going to have to get a podium finish, and he's going to have to hope that Angelo, at this point, pretty much wrecks.
He might need Jeff to wreck, but Loveland at 2
I'm
laps.
not sure. It looks like he's been in here. He's now multiple laps down, over a minute on pit road, so he may have called it a night here. I can't tell what damage he has on the left side, but the right side, a little bit of damage. Not enough to put him out of the race, but may just be calling it here, struggling tonight. As looking for other battles right now, pretty well spaced out. But Angelo Ronas and Chris Simard, the closest two cars. But I think Chris with 1 lap fresher tires and a little better pace right now should be able to pull away.
I think a big thing for Angelo, I don't think really. I mean, he pushed him hard, but he did pit a few laps earlier, but he was right behind Golly and Baffert, and he didn't even gain much. He led a few laps, but he didn't gain that much time at all. I'm curious to see what he did maybe wrong on entry to pit road, or even, you know, on the exit of pit road. I think exit of a pit road is really hurts. You know, if you can get out of there good, you're looking good. But if you do lose some time, you definitely will hurt yourself.
He was one of the best on pit lane time, and his pit stop was the quickest out of anybody in the field. So, yeah, it was just the getting on the pit lane and then getting off of pit lane just was not quite as quick there. Ended up not being able to leapfrog for the lead, which you would have thought he could have, being 2 laps sooner.
Yeah, and there goes my auto by Joshua Banks for the 12th position. They had a little contact entering pit road, and now my auto will get back by Banks. That definitely cost my auto some time, I will say.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, my auto was about, I don't know, 8 seconds off the leader at the start of that cycle, and he finds himself 16 seconds. So it cost him at least 8 seconds. And a lot of frustration, right? I mean, that's a big part of it, too. Jeff Wright gaining a position over Luke Knupp. Luke now back to 16th if the 48 can clear here. And Wright doing what he needs to do to try and preserve his spot in the top 12 after what has been a really up and down season. But he's still not he's not driving away from the 29. But big slide for Luke through the tri-oval.
These cars really getting loose on the tri-oval, it seems. I don't know. We saw the wheel spin on the start of the race that caused the first wreck, but other than that, not a lot of movement throughout the field. The field starting to get more spread out. Baffert, I feel like, really costed himself some time being, you know, looks like he's really losing some time down the straightaway, but I think Golly just put Sullivan a lap down through draft. But yeah, Baffert has kind of plateaued off a little bit, but he's kind of stayed around 1.3 seconds. Golly, man, he's looking really good for 3 in a row. And who would have thought? He's a Golly. Man, if he would have just showed up 1 week earlier, he'd be in the chase, and I think he'd be the championship favorite if he was in the chase. But so far, you know, I think the field is lucky that Golly is not going to be in the championship hunt. But I think the field is also not happy with him winning these next. If he can pull out this one off, winning the last 3 races in the regular season, and really taking away all those bonus points.
Yeah, definitely taking away opportunities for other drivers to try and pad a cushion going into the chase. How about Brody Hayes right here, running in 4th position? His teammate Chris Simard behind him, starting to close up. Just, you know, inch by inch closing in here. The last couple laps, they've been almost dead even. About 2 tenths slower than the leaders. About 6.5 seconds back, respectively. Yeah, the top 2 about 1.1, 1.2 seconds apart, and then Adam Cabot has not been able to close on them, solidly around 4 seconds behind. Pretty spaced out in this field here. I mean, Dane Cruz, Dylan Parker starting to close back up.
Yeah, they weren't the fastest cars on the race. Actually, Dane Cruz was that last lap, about 2 tenths faster than Yusuf Ghali, but you know, they're about 10, 11 seconds off of Ghali, and it looks like Cruz starting to find a little more long run pace than Dylan Parker. And how about, you know, I think other than Luke Knupp, I know he's a rookie and he's barely starting to figure it out. But Cruz and Parker have really done an awesome job, and Ben Baffert, their teammate, the PPM boys. I think they're going to be somebody to look forward to as we get into the chase. Just to see how the teamwork is once we get into Atlanta Dega. That's going to be interesting to see as the first race of the chase, and that could really shake up the points. We know what's possible of happening there. We've seen the runs, we've seen the racing that happens there. Any big wreck in those corners is going to collect a massive amount of the field.
Yeah, and that race coming after the All-Star race next week, next Tuesday, combining the Contender Series drivers with the Premier Series drivers, and the ARCA cars, I believe, at North Wilkesboro is where we've moved it to here, is what I had heard, at least it's the latest rumor.
Bravado, I think, would have dropped out. He did.
Oh, man. See if we can find out what happened to him here, if he wrecked or maybe just lost connection. Look here. Oh, big bobble. Oh, he slammed the
Oh,
wall and then towed it.
that'll do it.
Caution from that. So that may have just handed Jeff Wright a spot in the
In
chase.
the face, yeah.
We tough.
Wright can still have problems. I think really the only battle would be between Angelo Ronis and Chris Samard now at the moment, but Ronis is having himself a great race, gotten an extra point for leading the lap. So I think the 12 that are sitting in the chase right now might be locked in here. If I'm looking at everything right, I'm not sure just yet. We'll have to see once everything is set and official by the BTDY admins and officials. So we'll have to see though. But looking good so far for Jeff Wright and Angelo Ronis.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting because the drop week gets factored in, every time another race, comes up. So we'll see how things get calculated. Could be even closer than expected, at the end of this one. But right now, looking at this 3 cars here, the 25, the 24, and the 26, Dylan Parker, Bailey Turner, and Dane Cruz, 8th, 9th, and 10th. It looks like Bailey Turner starting to go the wrong direction. Dylan Parker going in the right direction. Slightly fresher tires. And that 25 car on the move here, faster than the leader at the moment.
Yeah. And I'll tell you this, the leader has kind of fallen off. The second place car has started to reel him in. Ben Baffert starting to slowly but surely reel him in. Was kind of steady around a second and a half, almost to 1.3 seconds. And now it's down to about 7/8 of a second. So Baffert really starting to reel in Golly. He's got about another 15 laps before pit stops probably start happening here pretty soon. Closing up at about halfway here. If Baffert can reel in Golly here, it'll be really interesting as Golly really starting to get loose. I think, he might, like we talked about, he might have pushed those tires early in the run, trying to get through traffic where it looked like Baffert kind of took his time getting through traffic, and Baffert has 1 lap fresher tires. But I will say this, Yusuf Golly looks like he's starting to fall off here.
Yeah, Ben not taking it easy here. I mean, he's still sliding around, but likes to, I think, consider himself a bit of a drift king here in iRacing, and doing a nice job at hanging onto that car out of these corners. Adam Cabot maintaining about 4 seconds behind. So keep an eye on the 17. Maybe these next couple of runs, he might be able to close that margin up. We'll have to see what the pit strategy looks like for him.
Cruz just got by by Bailey Turner here for the 9th position. Turner trying to fight back, but just a little bit older tires. They're about 1 lap older. As Turner starting to fall off here, and Cruz gets by here for the 9th position. Parker up to 8th. Still the fastest car on the racetrack, but just 10 seconds back.
Yeah, and you go back behind Bailey Turner. Keith Mayato is in 11th. He is 5 seconds behind Bailey Turner. He's pulled the second out in front of his teammate Seth Hatchell, though. And those guys nearing the pit limit here, or the run limit. I mean, Hatchell 47 laps, Luke Knupp 49 laps, so keep an eye on the 29.
I think Knupp will be coming in here very soon. The closest battle, I will say, on the racetrack, Chris Samard, Angelo Ronis, but, started creeping up into the picture is Eric Hutton. Eric Hutton having a solid run here tonight in that Yeti Coolers 88. Running down, Angelo Ronis, and he's about a 10th. He was a 10th faster than a few guys up ahead of him. Didn't have a smooth lap that last lap, but has been about a 10th faster than Ronis, and about a 10th faster through the corners here than Chris Samard. As you can see, going into 3, just loses the nose and aero. Dirty air, we kind of talked about early in the race. It is a thing, and it's kind of affecting the handling of these race cars. We got about 4 cars here. This is about the closest battles on the track. They're about 2-3 seconds ahead of Dane Cruz and Dylan Parker, who have about 7 or 8 lap fresher tires than some of these guys up here.
So
and they're coming.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are probably going to be pitting in the next 5 to 10 laps.
Yeah.
And then Dylan and Dane can go another 5 laps on top of that. It's going to be interesting to see when people do bring it in here.
I think it's going to be interesting how fuel strategy works. We'll see who can stretch it the longest. I think that's the big one. I think Knupp's kind of going to be the key here. Got about 51 laps, and I'm sure he'll be bringing it in pretty soon. Not sure when, but he will be bringing it in soon. I think the gap, or the most we saw, was 58 laps by Bailey Turner. We know Bailey knows how to save fuel.
Definitely a master at that. And we do want to thank you for joining us here. We are just past the halfway point, the BTDY Marathon 300 in the Below the WL Premier Series, presented by Martin Sports. Make sure to check out Martin Sports by using the code !Martin Sports in the chat. or you can find the link in the video description as well. Check out their offerings, some awesome gear provided by those guys, and a great sponsor of this series. As a battle going on here between Chris Simard and Angelo Romanis. Two guys fighting to make it into the top 12 this season, running 5th and 6th on the racetrack, and nearing the pit window. We'll have to see who of those two brings it in.
Knupp has came in, so he went about 42 laps in on the run. So interesting to see for Luke Knupp, as I don't know if he dropped out or what happened. Oh yeah, he hit the pit barrels, and I think that's going to be it for Luke Knupp. So that'll go to 16th now, and I think that'll almost lock Jeff right in. Yeah, I believe. Yeah, he wrecked into pit road.
I'm seeing he made it on all right, but then he just disappeared. Not exactly sure. Yeah, he might have towed it.
Hatchell bringing it in. Dylan Parker pit? Yeah, Dylan Parker came in. Interesting.
Yeah, kind of flipping the script here. The 25 pulls it in. Hatchell, like you said, pulling it on the pit road. He's got that right front damage still affecting him, but should be able to.
Oh, Joshua Banks almost spinning down the front stretch. Got really loose out the corner. He'll save it. Interesting.
Jeff Wright is on the move here, now up to 11th. So looking like he's going to be able to secure his position, barring any major mistakes. He should be able to advance.
The only thing that can change is if, let's say, Angelo Ronis wrecked and Chris Simard won the race. I think that would be the only possible change.
Or if Dallas Sullivan somehow got up there and won the race.
Yeah.
But Dallas currently a lap down. He's going to have a tough time doing that. Hatchell and Dylan Parker both back going here, keeping an eye on anybody else electing to pull it in. I don't see anyone yet making that decision, but Yusuf Ghali continues to lead. Take a look. He has led 76 laps tonight. Dominant form for the 54. He has just been on a mission here since Darlington, and nobody can really stop him. But Ben Baffert doing his best. He's led 4 laps tonight, and those two have been the class of the field here. Adam Cabot has started to make some inroads.
Yes, sorry to cut you off. Keep My Auto is brought in. I believe Reggie Ortega is also bringing it in on the pit road here. They haven't seen nobody come in yet. Yusuf Ghali, like you said, Yusuf Ghali, but Adam Cabot, like you said, starting to make up some time. He was about a 10th faster, almost even with Ghali that last time, but he's definitely reeling in Baffert, I could say. Baffert has some right front damage. I don't know if he got up into the wall there, but Baffert looks like he's a little crank on that right front.
Yeah, definitely some damage there. It's not seemed to, hinder him at all, but it's still about 0.6 back. Adam Cabot is closing on both of them. He was 4.2, 4.3. He's now down to 3.6, and they are approaching that 50 lap mark on this run. Brody Hayes pulls it on the pit road, and it looks like Simard with him.
And Ronis, all 3 of them.
That battle will continue unless they make some major mistakes getting into the boxes here.
It's looking like right here, Ghali's staying out, so is Baffert. Baffert's really starting to slide here and lose some time.
Ooh, Simard overshot the box. Oh, he's still struggling. He's not in the stall. Oh, man, that is going to cost him.
It's going to cost him a ton.
It'll be about 5 seconds, I think he'll lose just in that. That is going to be very costly. Keeping an eye on the leader. And is he going to pull it in?
Who pitted Erlin? Who's going to jump all these guys? It's going to be Dylan Parker. Parker just blew by Brody Hayes. Angelo Ronis is now, Yusuf Ghali is bringing it in this lap. What is Baffert trying to do? Look at Baffert getting, he missed pit road. I think Baffert thought about it, but he's going to stay out another lap. Ghali's going to bring it in. Interesting decision by Ben Baffert here. He's going to have to really push on this in lap here.
Adam Cabot just about 2.5 seconds behind him. What does Cabot do? He's got an extra lap on the tires.
Cabot's probably going to bring it in this lap.
Also staying out here. Looks like Dallas Sullivan's still out there 1 lap down. Hoping something can happen here to get back on the lead lap, I'm sure. Jeff Wright's still out there. He's actually got the freshest tires of anyone remaining, but it's just only a few laps. Here comes Baffert now. And Adam Cabot as well onto the pit lane. What does Dane Cruz do? He'll stay out.
Lead another lap here. I'll tell you, Dylan Parker gained a ton of positions by short pitting everybody. We'll see where he'll cycle out. He'll cycle out to second. Golly just exiting pit road. He's not going to get up to him, but he's going to close the gap a ton.
And he'll have nice warmed up tires.
Yeah. See where Baffert cycles out as well. Left sides are up and he's up and away. Golly going through through 3 and 4. Baffert at the commitment line now. Now he'll be able to gas it up. We'll see how much time he can gain or how much time he'll lose to Yusuf Golly as Golly's now going into turn 1. Golly's going to pass him here. How much time does he lose here to Yusuf Golly? He doesn't want to get a penalty. He'll lose another position to his teammate Dylan Parker, but he'll cycle out about a second and a half, 2 seconds behind Dylan Parker.
But not too bad for the extra lap.
He's fit in as well. Turner led that lap. Jeff Wright stayed out here. We'll see if he'll try to stay out and lead a lap here and almost pretty much solidify his way in as Turner comes in. But it looks like Wright is pitting, and it'll cycle lead back to Yusuf Golly. Dylan Parker, strategy not doing too bad. He's up to second. Baffert's starting to run him down slowly but surely as well.
Yeah, it's about 8 lap difference on tires. Look at the speed right there on entry. Yeah, that is huge. Trying to find a way around his teammate here across the stripe side by side. Yusuf Golly out in front by over 2 seconds. And now Baffert back to second position. But Dylan Parker net gain for him for the moment.
Yeah.
And then I think he's going to probably just pit around lap 150 and hope for the best.
I think that's going to be a shot. I'm just really interested in why Baffert didn't pit with Golly. I mean, he cost himself an extra bit of time because Golly was a little bit faster than him those last end of the run until Golly came in. And Baffert looked like he could gain enough time on pit entry to at least get up to him and leave it up to the crews, but he stayed out another lap, and look at it, cost him 2 seconds.
Yeah, it definitely cost him some time, but still one more pit stop to go in this race. It'll be the money stop, but Yusuf Golly trying to go 3 in a row, and he's closed up now to the back bumper of Jeff Wright, who runs 15th.
He just exited pit road. Jeff Wright has fresh tires. And I don't think Wright's going to want to lose his lap either.
This has not been a very successful night for the 48,
No.
but he's just going to barely be able to hang on, I think.
It'll do the job. I think that's the thing for Jeff Wright. It'll do the job. He had enough of a points gap to be fine with it, at least get through. As Wright has 4 lap first tires as he blinks out here. But I think he's going to try to at least get on the lead lap here. I don't think he wants to be stuck a lap down here behind Yusuf Golly. And I don't think Golly's going to want to fight him, but I don't think you can see Wright kind of costing him some time here as they're side by side.
Yeah, the more they run side by side like this, the slower both of them will go. Jeff Wright with four lap fresher tires should be able to just power around the outside, but having a hard time doing that. And Golly,
and it's going to hurt Yusuf's tires here being stuck on that bottom, kind of just getting held down there. Usually you can let it track up off the corner, but you can see Wright's tire advantage is mattering, but it doesn't seem like the top works good enough.
He's in the wall.
With the wall. And Golly is not liking this as Baffert is closed in a decent bit.
Yeah, at the line, 30.73 for Golly, and Baffert at 30.66. So that's about 7/100ths faster. Not a ton of time, but every little bit helps. And like you said,
we didn't save. We have seen Baffert save a little bit. And Golly hasn't really been in dirty air as well. And he's kind of tucked up behind the 48. He doesn't want to burn his tires off too much as well.
As Adam Cabot has taken the position away from Dylan Parker for 3rd. Dylan's starting to fall off here. I mean, he was about 9/10 slower than Cabot. You see Brody Hayes starting to close up on him as well as Eric Hutton, Angelo Ronas, and Chris Simard. He did lose about 2 seconds with the issue on getting into his box. And Seth Hatchell, who short pitted on this run once again, currently running in 9th. Keith Mayato has made his way into the top 10.
Cruz is just outside top 10, so is Bailey Turner. They have about 6 lap fresher tires than Seth Hatchell and about 5 lap fresher tires than Keith Mayato here. And they'll catch him here within the next 10 or so laps and probably get by him with a little bit of ease.
Definitely trying to stay, in reach. It's amazing with all the damage on Seth Hatchell's car. Only, 12 seconds off the leaders. He'll lose time over the run, but that's still very impressive. This race has not gone how He wanted it too, but he is managing it just well enough that he should be able to secure the regular season championship.
And there's still a long way to go where we could get a caution, but like you said, yeah, Seth would have to finish well the last car on the lead lap out, I'd say, which would be 16th, and then Brody Hayes would have to win, most likely. Neither have gotten an extra point. Brody, if he got another point, he can afford Hatchell making a possible mistake on the next pit stop, finishing 15th, and then Brody would need to finish about second for him to tie, and then Brody would get the tiebreaker.
Well, it's on average finish, right?
It's on average finish, so I don't think
I think
it's
Hatchell.
close.
Yeah, I think Hatchell.
But with Brody getting a top 5, it would probably really help, or top 3, and Hatchell getting outside the top 10 would help either. So it'd be interesting.
About 2 position difference, you know, for average finish coming into this race. That's how good Hatchell has been. So it would be tough. We'll have to see. But if he can just beat him on points straight up, he doesn't have to worry about the tiebreaker. So that would be the goal for him, I'm sure. Is Yusuf Ghali continuing to lead here, 2.2 seconds. He's got Reggie Ortega.
Lap traffic, though, which is interesting. Here's see how that affects tires. Obviously, Bafford's going to have to get through Ortega, but Bafford would not. He didn't need to deal with Jeff Wright because Jeff Wright's kind of pulled away from Yusuf Ghali. Now Banks is about to be lapped as well. So that's going to be interesting. Is Keith Mayato just blink a wreck? No, he's good.
Yeah, looking all right here on the 36.
Got by Seth Hatchell.
Yeah, 2 lap pressure tires there, and then Dane Cruz is closed up. He should be able to take away 10th position. He's going to go right underneath and be right on by into turn 1 here. 75 laps to go in this one. And Yusuf Ghali continuing to show the way. We're going to go to a quick side-by-side commercial break to hear from our sponsors tonight, and we will be right back. And here comes Mayato, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out the 37.
Oh! Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes Dweck.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it at Auto Club.
back at the racetrack, the battle for 6th position. Eric Hutton going to take it away into turn 3. Dylan Parker going to fall back to the 7th spot. The tire strategy just about working out, though. He's got about 18 more laps he's going to have to run here before it would make sense to pull it in for a pit stop. That would actually be a pretty short stint for him. So he could be... I'm not exactly sure what the call was going to be here.
To play.
A lot of strategy yet to play out in this one, as Ben Bafford has been able to close up a little bit now, just under 2 seconds up to Yusuf Ghali. Pretty even, though. Last time around he was well, actually, let's see what it is at the line here, about a half-tenth quicker. And then you got Adam Cabot about 4 seconds back, has not really gained or lost anything after the pit stop, but looks like he's pretty quick there on the top side alongside Reggie Ortega. He'll get by him. Put a lap on Reggie Ortega, who's currently in the lucky dog position in 15th. He's not going to be able to advance into the chase, so Reggie just trying to run this thing out and going to capture some wins, I would think, here in the last 8 races of the season. Joshua Banks having kind of a rough night as well, but he is locked in. So
yeah, congrats to him as well. I know he missed last week, and he's pretty good at Dover, but congrats to him on the birth of his daughter. So probably a pretty good reason to miss a race.
Yeah.
So, congrats to him and his wife, and welcome to the world their new baby daughter. So that's awesome to see for Joshua. And
oh
yeah.
no, he's in the wall!
Oh no!
Oh,
Right in front of Yusuf.
and he has broken the right front on that car. His race is going to be over.
Done.
Oh, and he's in the Ben Bafford!
No!
Huge wreck!
Oh my gosh!
Oh my goodness!
Holy, what a hit by Ben Bafford!
I
my
almost
God.
can't believe that just happened. We're just giving a shout out to Joshua Banks.
Wow!
Oh no!
And Bafford has pulled. He is out of that car and done.
Just taking a look here. I mean, Josh was sliding through 3 and 4 and slams the outside wall. The right front broken on that car, so he's having a hard time hanging on to it. Trying to slow down.
Getting out of the way, and he
Gets in
gets
the
on
grass and then
oh my gosh! What a hit by Ben Bafford.
Doing it an onboard here with the 23.
This race just changed on its head. I mean, nothing he can do.
Go to the helmet cam right here, and he's already sliding, just trying to hang on for himself. Goes, sees him down there, and then all of a sudden just hooks right, and then, oh man.
In real life, that would have been not fun, I could tell you.
Ooh, and Cabot just got by.
Entire field together. And that's going to leave 14 cars on the racetrack. Reggie Ortega will get the lucky dog. A massive wreck for Ben Bafford. That is unfortunate. And like we said, it's going to bring this whole field back together. Everybody bringing down pit road with the leader, Yusuf Ghali. Dylan Parker, Dane Cruz getting a lot of time. There's still going to be one more pit stop to go. But now I think it's 30 laps. You just push, you cut this run in half. And it seemed like Adam Cabot was starting to find some pace in that 17th. Curious to see what these guys do here.
Oh, it looked like Yusuf overshot his box, but no, he is good. No issues there. Keep an eye on Cabot. What can he do farther down pit road? This helps out a ton of guys like Seth Hatchell and Keith Mayato, who maybe have some damage to get cleaned up. As here we go. Battle off of pit lane. Cabot, they drop the jack. He gets rolling. It's going to be Yusuf Ghali. Look at Brody Hayes right there, though, too.
How about Eric Hutton? I think he's going to bring a lot of players. What happened to Dane Cruz? He's still in pit road. Bad stop for the 26 crew.
22 seconds.
Wow.
Jeff Wright, he'll have an extended stop. Hatchell going to stay on pit road. Obviously, it's Joshua Banks and Ben Bafford going to be done for the evening after a huge wreck. And that is our third caution of the night. 13 lead changes here from Charlotte for the Below the Double Yellow Marathon 300. And we are a good distance through this race. And it has been a race of attrition. Started with 22 drivers. And we're going to be down to 14 remaining. So that is about a third of the field. More than a third of the field taken out of this one.
Wow.
And it's been a handful for these guys. I mean, it makes sense that it's been a race of attrition. Even some of the best drivers out in here in the field, they've slid, they've hit the wall.
Take the wave around. It's bold here. He's going to be on really, really old tires. 24 laps. But everybody will be on the lead lap that's at least in this race. Now I think these guys are going to go after it here. Looking here, we're going to probably go green lap 140, which will mean we'll have 80 laps to go in this race.
60.
Or 60, sorry, 60 laps to go in this race. Wow, I cannot do math. And I think you go 30-30 here. I think we're going to see all these guys probably go 30-30. Oh boy, I think that just means push it. You just got to push it now. And I think we're going to see if you guys try to do it. I think Dylan Parker's that one guy you're going to see battling up there. Does he owe back Yusuf Ghali for what happened at Dover? I don't know. We'll see what happens when they get up there. It's going to be interesting. I think Dylan Parker really wants to win. He's from Charlotte, or he's from North Carolina, I should say. I think he's not too far out of Charlotte. Home race, home track, why not? But I think Yusuf Ghali did not obviously want to see that caution. It looked like he had this race under control pretty much. Man, hard hit for Ben Baffert and Joshua Banks. Should we pull in Ben Baffert?
Yeah, we can go ahead and do that. Or is he out of the care center?
Yeah. Is he? Ben, Alec Martinez, Adam Baker, and the VSPEED got a copy?
Oh, we absolutely have a copy.
Well, buddy, that was probably the hardest hit I think I've seen in this car at Charlotte. What happened there, and did that catch you by surprise?
I mean, I was going down the straightaway, and all of a sudden, we're in the wall. I'm not too sure what happened, actually. Looks like somebody spun, broke a toe link, something. I don't know. I think we're out, but I have no clue at this point.
Well, I hate that this ended for you. You obviously have a win in the bank. Going into the chase, you're locked in. How do you feel about you are?
How?
Not enough
what?
drivers here tonight.
Not enough cars left in the field, so you're not going to lose enough points.
All right.
So,
it was great.
Yes. So how do you feel? Obviously, All-Star having fun next week at North Wilkesboro. How do you feel about that? And then going out into Atlanta and seeing what happens there for the chase.
Well, All-Star is going to be fun. Obviously, ARCA car is pretty fun around short tracks. Rest of the schedule, I think I'm pretty decent at the rest of the tracks. Atlanta is obviously just going to be whoever gets the luckiest. But I don't really want to fault Banks for that too much. His toe link was broken. This car is just really snappy and stupid sometimes whenever you break stuff. So it's just one of those things.
Well, I hate that happened to you, brother. Just sit back, relax, watch the end of this race, and we'll see you next week out we're at North Wilkesboro next week.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we'll see you at Atlanta. So have a good one, brother.
Have a great night.
Definitely disappointing for him having a good run out there, led some laps, but going to be moving on in the chase, has that race win in the bank, and going to be able to advance. It'll be a bit closer between, finishing 10th or 11th in the points. But here we go, back to the restart zone. Yusuf Ghali, Adam Cabot, Brody Hayes, Angelo Ronis up here in the mix as well. Green flag back in the air. About 61 to go in this race. A nice jump for the 54.
A great jump by Yusuf, and he's out and away. Adam Cabot clear for second, and then the battle is for third. Brody Hayes, Angelo Ronis, then behind them, Dylan Parker, Eric Hutton, Keith Mayato, Bailey Turner, and Chris Samard going into turn 3.
Yeah, this is it's going to get very, very interesting here for Chris Samard. I mean, he really needs Angelo to have problems. Dallas Sullivan, I like the call. I know he's got a lot of laps on the tires. This is the only chance he has to finish on lead lap, though. I mean, he's about 3.5 seconds back.
Yeah.
He'll lose quite a bit of time each lap, but he can pit here in 10 to 15 laps and at least put fresh tires on it and make it to the end. So that's the call there, and he'll be on the lead lap at that point. Ways behind, but it's better than being a lap down.
For sure. And teammates battle are 1, 2, 3 being Yusuf Ghali, Adam Cabot, and Angelo Ronis. Ronis now fighting with Brody Hayes. Dylan Parker up on the outside, trying to get that outside lane to work. Seems like he's getting some momentum rolling on that outside. Kind of has Hayes pinned on that bottom as he almost gets up into the outside wall, carrying the momentum down this backstretch, side by side with Hayes on the bottom. Hayes rolling that inside lane. Parker rolling that momentum on the outside, gets tight off the corner. He'll be able to clear here, and now she'll set his eyes on Angelo Ronis. Still got about 3 more spots to get up to Ghali and challenge for the lead. What does Adam Cabot do? Does Cabot back it down here these next few laps and then try to attack?
One thing that he's had trouble with this season, but it seems like he's pretty good on the long run tonight, was faster than Baffert and Ghali towards the tail end of the 2 runs ago. He gained, what, about 3/4 of a second. How about Dylan Parker? Letting it drift up. Look at the drive off of turn 4 here. He's going to look to the inside of Angelo Ronis for the 3rd position. Angelo may just give it to him.
Parker's really starting to roll. And I remember what happened last week at Dover, where it came down to a short run, both of the runs, and Parker pushed it. Is he pushing too early is the question. Not as much fall off as there was at Dover, but still a pretty decent amount of fall off here. They're already 7 laps into this run. Do they try to go another, I don't know, 25-ish laps and then pit?
Yeah, it's tough to say. Yeah, how to split it up here. I mean, they're definitely not going to go the full 50-lap run. So yeah, I would say cut it short, try and cut it in half. I don't know if undercutting or overcutting is going to help you out, you know, with this much time left in the race.
Oh, man.
Battle for second, though. He looks to the top side of Adam Cabot, the Atlas number 17. He's just going to let him go here. No, into turn 3. They fight side by side.
Parker's trying to roll that momentum. Parker's trying to roll the momentum off the top. You see, backed up the corner, and now tries to get it all up on X, and he's trying to clear Cabot. Almost carries enough, and he'll clear. Now he sets his eyes as he'll slide into second. Now he sets his eyes on Yusuf Ghali.
Boy.
Is a little bit of a bumper, but it takes the air off that 17. Now we have a 2-horse fight, looking a lot like it did at Dover here. Does Parker try to use the bumper exactly what Ghali did to him at Dover? Or has he pushed those tires too much? I think that could be another problem as well.
He's already pushed really hard here. 9 laps into this run. He's about a 1/4 second back. He's going to have to get closer than that if he wants to give him the bumper. But a good racing up here inside the top 5, who have top 6 have broken away. Eric Hutton in that group. And then you got Keith Mayato back in the fold now. Kind of a nice reset for him after getting turned, getting onto pit road. He could go up there and actually start to, you know, fight for the lead. He's led 17 laps here tonight and was the pole sitter. Let's not forget that 36 car. Always good on the long runs, too. So we'll see what he can do here. Samard behind him, just trying to get whatever finish he can. And another guy who likes to pace himself a little bit. But Brody Hayes, Angelo Ronis.
Hayes just got by Ronis there for 4th, and now he's up into 4th. Ronis down back to 5th. Keith Mayato slowly but surely catching. It looks like Ghali with that clean air is kind of pulling away about 0.2 of a second on Dylan Parker. Parker trying everything he's got to get around Yusuf Ghali. Will it work? I'm not sure, but he needs to keep in touch enough that in the next 20 laps he can pit with him and then charge.
And Cabot may be looking to try and get back around the 25 at some point here. I think he is just kind of pacing himself, just waiting for an opportunity, you know, to start putting the pedal down. And Brody Hayes, one of those guys, he's basically the best I think we've seen all season in terms of like running the.
Oh man, he's not gonna accept kind of much more from Dylan Parker now.
They're stacking up.
Oh man, what a save by Cabot. Now Hayes up to the outside, and I tell you, Yusuf Ghali is loving this. He is gonna start pulling away.
Man, that was close right there. Just really a sandwich with Cabot in the middle. And I don't know if Brody just wasn't going to check up, but Cabot, great save through the grass there. And they're fighting for 3rd.
I don't know if Brody knew that Cabot was right on top of Dylan Parker. And now they're side by side now through the travel. I think Angelo Ronis is probably going to help push his teammate Adam Cabot by. Cabot fighting on that inside. Now Hayes fighting on the outside the longer way around the racetrack. And he's going to try to carry that momentum up. Cabot slips up off the bottom. Doesn't look like he'll be able to keep that run on the top. Cabot slots back into 3rd, but he lost a lot of time. About a second off of Yusuf Ghali now.
Yeah, and this is exactly what Yusuf wants to see. I mean, he has just been pretty much flawless here tonight. He gets a little loose on the long run, but been very, very good.
I will say, though, Yusuf is turning qualifying laps right now. Or was, I should say.
Last time by Cabot, fastest by about 0.2, so don't count him out. He's putting the pedal down now. Jeff Wright also climbing through the field.
Yeah, Wright trying to get some positions just past Samard for the 8th position. But looking at Cabot, he's kind of just sliding the front end, being right in that dirty air, right in the wake of the 25.
Oh.
Parker gets on the apron. He's going to get loose, and now Cabot's going to go right on by. Parker drops 1, 2, 3, and possibly even 4 to Eric Hutton. And maybe even a 5th to Keith Mayato, but exactly what Adam Cabot wanted to see. now his only car. There's only one car between him and Golly.
And Dylan Parker way up the racetrack now, sliding next to Eric Hutton, and here comes Mayato right behind him. And then you've got Jeff Wright in the mix up here too. That 48 car is turning on the afterburners, but he's got to be careful. Really big bobble from the 25. And Mayato trying to take the spot away. That'll be 6th for the 36 and about 1.6 seconds behind the leader. So again, never count out Mayato. He's had all these things go wrong for him here the last handful of races. Had so many opportunities to win, but just keep getting pulled out. Get pulled out from underneath him. And he has a shot here in the last 50 laps to actually go up there and race for it.
Yeah, I tell you. Oh, sorry to cut you. I tell you, if there's one guy Yusuf Ghali doesn't want to deal with at the end of this race, it's probably going to be Keith Mayato. And Mayato, I feel like just needs one more caution to get himself up in the mix.
He was quicker than Ghali by about a half-tenth, but Eric Hutton, one of the fastest on the track. Adam Cabot was the quickest, and he has cut the margin down now just a half second from first to second place. Brody Hayes also quick. Angelo Ronas, Eric Hutton, Keith Mayato, all faster than Yusuf. But is the 54 saving a little bit here?
Yeah, I think that's the big thing. But I feel like in clean air, you're looser than everybody else, and you might push those rear tires too much. Now, was Yusuf pushing at the end or the beginning of that run? I'm not sure. It didn't look like he was fully, but he could have been pushing where Cabot, I feel like, was saving now. But it looks like Cabot's just a little too tight. I think he might have burned off that right front and is starting to push in the center of the corner.
And not too far up the road, that's going to be Dallas Sullivan. Last car on the lead lap. That's how much time he's lost, but he can afford to pit here. He could pit and make it to the end. He's got probably a couple more laps before he would end up going a lap down. But he's only about a second a lap slower, actually.
That's not bad, but Ronas just got by Brody Hayes for the 3rd position. Now Eric Hutton underneath Hayes, and he'll try to take 4th. Keith Mayato right behind them, trying to get both of them and get his way into the top 5. Hutton now goes into 4th. Hayes back to 5th. Now Mayato looking for 5th on his teammate Brody Hayes. Hayes with a big run down the straightaway. He'll tuck back behind Eric Hutton.
I tell you who is probably pretty relieved at this point in the race. It's going to be Seth Hatchell. Looks like he should be able to secure the regular season championship. As long as he finishes this race, he doesn't really have to get even a top 10. He's just got to finish right around where he's running and try and keep the car pretty much as clean as he can here for the last 43 laps. And he's doing just what he needs to do. And consistency has been the name of the game for the 8 machine all season long. But battling up here, Jeff Wright in front of Dylan Parker, Chris Samard, Dane Cruz, all inside the top 10. They've all survived to this point. Going to be fighting for the best finish they can get.
I think looking at how many laps to go, we got about probably another 10 laps to go in this run. So I expect in another 10 laps, probably 150 or 169 come in are probably going to pit. And now Dallas Sullivan is looking like he's going to bring it into pit road.
And this is definitely the call for him. He's not going to go a lap down on speed here. Watching him, slowing it down here, coming onto pit lane. Leader's not close enough to have to avoid him. Nice job getting onto pit road smoothly there. And he will get fresh tires on. The first one to do so. He had run almost 50 laps.
Yeah, and just looking at the front, as you can see, Brody Hayes getting back by Eric Hutton. Hutton fighting on that outside. Now he'll get cleared. Mayato fighting down on the inside, trying to pull him back, side dress him down the backstretch. And now he'll send it up on the inside. Hutton using that outside lane. Mayato really rolling that center of the corner good. If Mayato could just get a little bit closer and make quick work of Hutton and Hayes, I think he could compete with Angelo Ronas, Adam Cabot, and Yusuf Ghali. And speaking of Angelo Ronas, he's caught up to the back end of Adam Cabot.
Yeah, he is just about 6/10 behind Yusuf Ghali. Cabot has closed up just 2 car lengths behind Ghali now. And pit stops, like you said, coming very soon. The fall off at this point, they're running about 32-second laps compared to the quick times of 30.3s and 4s. I think fastest car in this race, fastest lap was Dylan Parker with a 30.28. Yeah. So that's the biggest, difference there would be about 1.7 seconds right now. So each lap, you could potentially gain about 1.5, seconds per lap if you brought it in early, but then you'll lose all that on the back end of the run. Tough to say. This pit strategy stuff is not easy.
It is not, that's for sure. Looking at everything so far, I don't think we'll be able to see anybody. Bailey Turner, I'm gonna throw this in, is clutching into the corners.
No, there is no way.
I don't know if it's gonna happen.
Done 25 laps in this run, and we've got, what, 37, 38 to go. So that would be over 60 laps. I don't know, man. That's a long ways to go. He is saving his tires by doing so, I think.
He is. Mayato and Hutton are going at it right now. Mayato just got by Eric Hutton. Now Mayato cracks into the top 5. Mayato really has some good pace here. As I say, that he gets really loose off in the center of the corner. But it looks like he can, if he can get some time going here, he could probably catch these guys about 2 seconds back. And I'll tell you, Adam Cabot's starting to get right on the rear bumper of Yusuf Ghali. Yusuf Ghali's back in and starting to dance around here a little bit. He's starting to put some more pressure on him as Cabot starting to gain down this backstretch.
Cabot looked to the about a groove higher here. So we can get a little air to the nose on entry, and then through the center of the corner, the lowest speed part of the track, where they're getting down to, what, about 145 miles an hour. Nice run out of the turn here. It's just a car length and a half across the stripe. 36 to go.
If he can just get, we talked about the aero in these cars, if he can just get some air, put that nose close to the rear bumper of Ghali, loosen him up, take the air away from that spoiler, he can definitely help. But Ghali's struggling off the corners here, and I think it's really helping Cabot. If Cabot could just put a little more pressure on him, he could probably get around him. Cabot looking about a groove higher in the center of the corner, getting some clean air on the entry, and then staying behind him off the corner, and you can see Cabot really wheeling it up off the corner as well. I think Cabot's going to probably try to pit with Ghali and try to force Ghali into a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely been better on the tail end of these runs, and he's right behind him.
Right there. And I think that's the problem. He's right behind him.
He's been getting great runs out of turn 2, though.
That was the best one he's got so far.
35 laps to go. Adam Cabot is there, and Angelo Ronas not too far back either. He's only about 5 or 6 car lengths off of Cabot. Never count out Angelo Ronas. He could be a sneaky option. There's Dallas Sullivan. Yeah, he's going to be able to get his unlap himself. Well, he's 2 laps down right now.
Yeah,
so
we get one of those laps back, but it's going to be interesting to see when he runs up on the leaders, which he will. Does he pass him on the inside? That's going to force Ghali and Cabot to run the outside lane here. It's going to be exactly what Adam Cabot needs, because Ghali's going to have to run the top.
Yeah, that is definitely going to hinder the 54. Keep an eye. And here comes
Cabot.
Nice run through the corner. He is right there on the bumper.
Oh, he's looking. He's arrow pushing him.
Wow, this is as close as it gets here. The top 3 all within 3/4 of a second.
You got a big run. Oh, Yusuf got loose off the corner. Here comes Cabot up the outside.
The battle potentially for the win. What is Ghali going to do? He's probably going to send it down in the turn here. Cabot trying to hold him up. Here comes Yusuf. Is this a race-winning move?
I don't know if Cabot's going to have to pit this next lap, though.
Or he's going to have to stay out at least a few more. That's the only thing.
One or two more laps at most. I think Ghali might have came in a little early, too. He's going to have to go 31 laps this time. We'll see here.
That's what I'm saying.
Just see what Cabot does.
You stay out a couple more laps, you might be able to just go right on by him. That's the thing.
I don't know.
Tough to say.
Cabot's bringing it in, though. Cabot's bringing it in. He's coming in right now. Oh, he's hauling. He had a way better pit entry than Yusuf Ghali did.
Big
I don't know if he made it, though.
Angelo going to stay out here, and that will be
the point.
He has some laps led, actually, in this race, so he's got that bonus point.
See, Ghali just left pit road.
See what Cabot elects to do here. There's no way anybody takes 2 tires, right? There's just no way.
So. It's probably not worth it.
Cabot has amazingly has only led 1 lap here tonight after all of that. See what does Angelo do? Here he comes onto pit road. Brody Hayes stays out.
Hey, Cabot just left pit road, but Ghali coming down the front stretch, got a full head of steam as he crosses the start-finish line. Cabot just going through turn 1. He might have got Ghali.
Comes Yusuf.
Ghali going through the corner. He's going to emerge up the corner. Here comes Yusuf Ghali. Now Cabot's going to have 1 lap fresher tires.
And they're right behind Chris Samard.
That was big by Adam Cabot. He had a great pit entry, and he actually had a pretty decent stop. It wasn't as fast as Golly, but now he's got 1 lap fresher tires, and he's right behind him and right where they started.
Mard will stay
And
out.
Corona's gonna leave too,
Yeah.
but he's going to lose a lot of time.
Mard stays out. Another lap. Dane Cruz right here as well staying out. And Bailey Turner, like you said, he is... I don't know if he's still clutching it or not.
He might be. I don't think so. Good check here. He is.
Wow, and Seth Hatchell, he has brought it in. About to be off and away, I think. Ooh, long stop for him. Maybe he got speeding.
Yep.
Oh, that could
Doesn't
be...
matter.
Well, it could be costly.
Oh,
I mean,
good, Brody.
Brody is up here in the mix potentially for a
In
win
fourth.
tonight. Yeah, here comes...
Just left pit road.
Comes Keith, gonna go on by, and
Yeah,
these guys a couple laps fresher tires than Yusuf and Adam Cabot.
Yeah.
So far, Samard's staying out though.
20 laps to the end here.
Dane Cruz.
Bailey and Smart are playing an interesting game here. I don't know. Yusuf's 24. If Bailey Turner could somehow make it on field, which would be amazing. 24 seconds. It's really going to depend, as Cabot hasn't really pushed it yet. Might be saying, golly, we know he's burned his tires up. Being in clean air, the car gets way looser. If Cabot can just keep it easy here, don't burn up those tires. He'll have a shot here.
Tell
He
you
doesn't
what,
want to push too early.
Seth Hatchell got speeding, so he is
That's
13th out of 14 cars in this race.
Man.
If Brody Hayes somehow gets up there and wins this thing, I think that's it. I think that'd be regular season championship. Brody's got a lot of work to do here. He's running in 9th right now, and I don't know how far he is behind Yusuf. It's about 5 seconds, I think. So it'll be a tall order.
Yeah, his 4 lap push car is going to be 4 seconds worth. I don't really know.
Yeah.
I don't think so. He's 9 seconds behind Yusuf Ghali.
Oh my goodness, yeah, there's no way. Yeah, so Chris Samard is your race leader, staying on the racetrack here. He's just hoping something happens, and he can come in and take tires and be able to leapfrog all these guys and have a shot at the win.
Bailey's still clutching and coasting. I just don't think it's going to matter because Ghali running 2 seconds a lap faster.
Yeah, and he's only 14 seconds behind him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to work out tonight, I don't think, for Bailey Turner, but he's going to try it. He's got nothing to lose here. He's locked in.
He shocked us at Pocono with what he did. I mean, and if a caution comes out, he's going to be in an amazing spot.
Yeah, this is a lot farther, I think, than he had to go at Pocono. That was like 5 extra laps or something, and this one, this is about 12 extra laps.
I don't know. You never know. Bailey, like we said, Bailey has shocked us, but I mean,
That's
15
true.
extra laps. I just don't think so.
I think it's just a little too far. How about Adam Cabot? He's closed up, though. He's there now. He's going to be able to fight with Yusuf. Has he pushed a little too hard to get there, though, is the question.
I don't know. That's the real question. I think Yusuf being in clean air is still burning his tires off. You can see he's sending it in a little bit harder. Maybe burning off that right front, and then depends on the exit. Obviously, we know Cabot has 1 lap fresher tires. We'll see what Dallas does. Sullivan right ahead of them. He's going to give them the bottom. Cabot's going to back off the corner. It seems like Cabot's kind of backing it off a little bit more and easing back into the throttle. I'm curious to see what Ghali's throttle traces are. It sounds like he's kind of letting it go. I'm not sure if he's burning up his tires, though.
Go on board with him.
Oh, he's right on that apron, too.
Go on
We'll
board
have
with
to see.
Cabot here and see what he's doing.
It's-
Run right in the tire tracks for the moment. And Eric Hutton is the next one behind them, and then you got Angelo
Eric Hutton.
Ronas. But man, it's just so far back for those guys. They just didn't do as well on pit road cycle.
I think Angelo could have pitted right next to, or he could have pitted with either Cabot or with Ghali, and he didn't really gain much time. I think he pitted a few laps after. I know he wanted to lead some laps, but it could cost him a shot at this win.
Yeah, he pitted 2 laps after Yusuf, 1 lap after Adam Cabot. And currently he runs about a half second behind Eric Hutton. who
Now,
pitted before
caution
all
on
of
the other hand would change a lot of things here. I think is the thing.
Oh yeah, it for sure would. Seth Hatchell
I mean,
trying to get up into the mix for the lucky dog. He is about 12 seconds behind Dallas Sullivan. It's not going to matter.
Yeah, we're too spread out. I don't think we're gonna get a caution. Is the thing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think you're right. Let's see if there's any battles. Angelo Ronis, Eric Hutton now side by side for 5th. Ard and Bailey Turner still staying out there, but Samard I think is bringing it in this time. Here he comes, just trying to catch a caution. His last shot and making it into the chase would be to win, and Angelo needs to have a problem, but he is not having any problems here tonight.
Turner's really trying to catch a caution here. I think up at the front though, Yusuf Ghali got him messed up, and here comes Adam Cabot.
Battle for what will be the lead, and Bailey Turner only 2.5 seconds up the road, still saving side by side. Caution is out.
Caution! And Bailey Turner's gonna cycle to the lead. We'll see who the caution's for. Chris Samard's gonna get a lot of spots. I don't know who it was. Oh, it's Dylan Parker. And this changes everything. Bailey Turner's gonna get the lead. But actually, if I think about it right, Chris Samard's exiting pit road.
I think Chris might get the lead out of this. He's a lap down though, I'm seeing.
If he passes, no, he just got by. If he passes the pace car, he should get the lead, and he does. Chris Samard might have got the lead out of this.
Oh, it was Mayato and Dylan Parker.
Too. Mayato might be fine. We'll see, but yeah, that's going to be the reason for the caution. Now everybody's going to bring it down pit lane again.
Let me go one more view of this. Dylan on the bottom. I'm not sure if he gets a little loose here. He gets kind of up, and then Mayato. Yeah, Mayato's there, and just.
Oh, and Yusuf Ghali stayed out.
Oh, is he out of tires?
He might be out of tires. He stayed out on pit road, or he stayed out on the track.
He's been on pit lane 7 times.
He might. Yeah, that might have been it. But Cabot's been in 7 times as well.
He may not have taken tires a couple of those times. Might have been fuel only at the beginning of the race.
Tires.
Wow.
Ghali might have just messed his race up.
Yeah, I think he just lost this race.
Yeah, and Chris Samard's going to be restarting 2nd. And out of pit road, Bailey Turner, Adam Cabot, Angelo Ronis, and Eric Hutton exit out of the pits.
Wow. Seth Hatchell, he is not going to be the lucky dog, but he should be able to take.
Sullivan's going to get the lucky dog.
Oh, Seth can't take the wave around either because Yusuf is still out there.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow. I don't know. I feel like we should pull in Yusuf and see what he was thinking here for his strategy.
Yeah, let's pull him up. Yeah, he's been dominant here tonight. We got to know what happens.
I don't have tires.
You don't have tires.
I don't have tires. So it's over.
Oh my gosh.
Nothing.
Wow. I hate to pull you in at that time. I do apologize.
It's fine.
Well, brother, I wish you good luck, man.
Oh, we're gonna wreck the field here.
All right, brother. Well, good luck. Go get him.
Yes.
Oh shoot. Sorry.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. I mean, we saw tire spin on the initial start.
Well,
could be a little bit more right here.
I mean, Yusuf dominated this race. How many laps he's led? 100 and something, right?
134 laps. It'll be even more than that by the time we take the green flag. Chris Samard could go on and win.
This race is wide open for anybody.
Except for Yusuf Ghali.
Except for Yusuf Ghali. Yeah, Yusuf Ghali is in trouble.
And
60 lap older tires. He's got to watch the wheel spin too.
Like Hatchell's brought it in. I think he may be out of tires too, so he took a splash of fuel. Jeff Wright brought it in. He is 2 laps down. Either of those guys can take the wave around, but Dallas Sullivan does get back on the lead lap. His shot is not over here. Remember, he was tied with.
Unless Angelo Ronis wrecks out. I mean.
Yeah, he was tied with Zwack though. You never know. I mean,
well,
Angelo Ronis could get caught up here, and Dallas Sullivan has put himself in position to be on the lead lap at the end of this race. And there's enough positions to be gained or lost by either of those guys to shake things up here. This is
And how about Chris Samard, though? Chris Samard could be playing. I mean, he could have just got the luckiest break of his year. And he could be up here and might have a chance at winning this race. It's a 15 lap, or going to be less than 15 laps on a shootout.
Going to have to be pretty much perfect, and he's
Yeah.
going to also have to hope that Angelo.
Haley Turner, Angelo,
Yeah.
yeah.
Gonna have to hope
I mean,
that Angelo wrecks out here.
I mean, don't count out Dane Cruz or Reggie Ortega. Ortega has fresh tires. I think Cruz might even have fresh tires as well. I
Ow.
mean, look, other than Bailey Turner and Adam Cabot, Brody Hayes as well, nobody else has won a race. And Yusuf Ghali's on old tires. I don't know if you want to count him out yet. Other than Turner and Cabot, everybody in the top 10 has yet to win a race this season, other than and Brody Hayes as well.
Yeah. Wow. Here we go. 2 by 2. It's going to be 14 to go.
He is going to spin those tires. We saw what happened to Cabot on the first lap of this race. Early, too. On the tires weren't even, they're as fresh as they can get. Ghali has 17-lap-old tires. Bailey Turner, he's got to be careful. He doesn't want to push him too hard, or else he is going to wreck whatever is left of this field.
Just saw Joshua Banks in chat here saying we jinxed him. Sorry about that. Yeah, definitely jinxed him. We were literally on the camera talking about you, and oh man. Well, at least moving on, and can focus on next week for the All-Star race. Here we go, though.
Regular
Oh, my
season
goodness.
finale is going to come down to this.
It is, and Yusuf Ghali, connection problems there for a brief moment. To recap, we've had 4 cautions and 19 lead changes, so that's actually, it's been very competitive with all the pit cycle lead changes. Yusuf Ghali, dominant driver, is going to have a tough time with this one. Pace car is off, working into the Geico restart zone. It'll be the 54. Here we go, back on the throttle. Big bobble there. Samard did not get going.
What is Bailey Turner trying to do here?
I think he's
Turner
basically
looking up to the outside. He
gonna
should
pretty
get
much.
a great run. He's just holding strong, though. He's going to take that line away. Now Turner's going to cross him over. Look at down the backstretch. Look at Angelo Ronis trying to use that back bumper, trying to get to the back bumper of Turner. Turner sends it into the bottom.
And it's going to be all over here for Yusuf Ghali. He should drop like a
Ghali.
rock. He's sliding.
Oh, he's going to get in front of Samard. Ghali's going to get turned. Samard up into the air, and he gets clobbered.
Oh, and his race is
Oh,
over.
Big hit. And they're all wrecking. I think somebody, was there another car involved? Ortega sliding. Mayano's in it as well. Brody Hayes is in it.
Oh my goodness, and that's it's kind of what you'd expect there when a car is
Wow.
on old tires at this track, the way the car's been handling the night. Let's go back and take a look at how this all started. It was Yusuf Ghali.
There's just nothing he can do. He's on such old tires trying to fight for the win.
Just gets loose.
He gets loose, and then Samard tries to give him some space, and then Cabot gets into him, and what a hit, and then he gets...
Oh, Brody Hayes. That's going to be the end of the championship fight for Brody Hayes.
Yeah. And Ghali, I believe, had a broken toe link there. He was...
What happened to Mayato and Reggie?
Mayato and Ortega, man, they got lucky not going to that inside
Wow.
wall. Ortega spins into the grass.
He's still spinning all the way down there. Wow,
I
that
don't
is
even
incredible.
know. Insane. Unfortunate. I think that's going to pretty much lock up Seth Hatchell as regular season champion.
Bam, and Chris
Oh,
Samard.
no, Sullivan just hit Jeff Wright. But, man, what a hard hit for Chris Samard, and that's how his season is going to end, unfortunately, at least for a chase for a championship. Unfortunate and hard hit. Heartbreaking for Chris Samard. Wow.
Somehow Brody
All you
Hayes
can
still
do.
rolling out there, and let's see how things have been shaken up in the running order. We're gonna have less than 10 to go.
And
It
Seth
is,
Hatchell's gonna get the lucky dog.
Hatchell's still man resilient. That 8 car all season long. He's had a couple races like this where it just like never started right, and he could never get the car healed up all the way, and he's just had to kind of salvage what he can, and it looks like he might get a top 10 here tonight. But Bailey Turner, your race leader, Angelo Ronis running second, could have a shot at the win. Adam Cabot, Eric Hutton, Reggie Ortega, and Keith Mayato, after going for a big slide there, 5th and 6th, but their tires will probably have a little bit of wear on them. Brody Hayes with all the nose damage runs 7th. Dylan Parker in 8th. Dallas Sullivan in 9th after all of his troubles here tonight. Dane Cruz in 10th, Hatchell 11th. Jeff Wright, the last car running on the racetrack, in
Wow.
12th position. We have lost.
Wright's locked in.
Yeah, Jeff Wright. I think with that wreck there, that is his ticket in. Angelo Ronas. It's still possible for him.
No, I don't think so. I think it's over with Chris Samard being out and Matthew Zwack. Dallas Sullivan, though.
Yeah, if Dallas.
Yes, you're right. Dallas Sullivan.
But I'm not sure he
I think
has
he would
any...
need to wreck out is the problem for Angelo. He literally need to finish 12th.
Yeah.
And Dallas needs to win.
Well, Dallas would at least have to finish top 3, and he's got a little work to do running in 9th. But only 12 cars out of the 22 that started remain on the racetrack.
Yeah. Who should we pull in here while we're under caution? About to go green in the next lap, but who should we pull in right now?
Eric Hutton?
Eric Hutton? Let me get Eric Hutton. Eric Hutton, Alec Martinez out of Baker in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Brother, it's been a race of attrition. You survived through it all. The long run. It's been a long, grueling 300-mile race. 8 to go here, or 7 to go when we get this restart. You're in 4th. You got anything for these top 2 or top 3?
I don't know. I don't know how to save tires, but we're not going to be saving anymore, so maybe I do. Hopefully, I think it's going to depend on the restart. Adam's really fast, so if I can get past Adam on a restart, I don't know. I can probably get past Bailey. Angelo's really fast too, so I think it's just going to come down to the restart.
Well, you survived. I gotta ask, how are you feeling? It's been about 280-something miles. How are you feeling so far?
I'm pretty sweaty. My back hurts. My arm hurts. I just want to go to bed. So hopefully I don't get wrecked in this, and something will come of it.
I respect that. All right, Eric. Good luck, brother, and go get him.
Yeah, thanks.
We love Eric Hutton, man.
Yeah, I mean,
he's having a good run. First, really, I mean, he's put together a great run. Hopefully we didn't jinx him.
Yeah, let's hope not. I mean, we've done that already a couple times tonight, but I'm sure he'd like to walk out of here with a few dollars in his pocket at least. That would be a top, I think top 8 finish earns a payout here, and this is the Crown Jewel event, so a little different payout for these guys. So that's what they're racing for at the front. Bailey Turner locked in. Angelo Ronas nearly locked in. As he runs, he would be in. But you know, he's not going to back down and just take it. He's not going to back down. I mean, he does not want another second place.
No, he does not. And if he can win, he will get bonus points. Think about that he can use at Atlanta. Say he does have another good run. You know, bonus points to what you're going to be. He'd be the 10th different winner this season. 8 of which, if he were to win this, would get points. Other than that, I mean, Bailey Turner won at Pocono. Cabot won the first 2 races at Daytona and Fontana. Eric, even if he were to win, it wouldn't matter because he's not in the playoffs. But Angelo Ronas could easily use some bonus points going in. And I'm sure he would love to get that first win.
Yeah, what a time to do it here when your back's up against the wall. You're the last one in on points, and go on and get basically as many points as you can here. We'll see what he can do, but Bailey Turner, gonna be a tough one to battle with. Bailey, no slouch, and he's been very competitive here tonight. Has led 10 laps in this race, and he's got the lead now with just it'll be 8 laps to go. Or sorry, 9. Yeah, no, 8 laps to go.
8 laps.
We take the green flag here. Bailey Turner going to lead us back into the restart zone. He's elected the top lane. Angelo Ronas going to try and time it here alongside. Oh, and not a great jump, though.
Angelo, he's got to push, though. Bailey doesn't have one because he's out in front. But now
here comes
Cabot.
Bailey's teammate going to try and get up there and battle for the win. Cabot wants all the bonus.
He got loose. Oh, and they're 3-1. Angelo's in the wall.
And what can Dallas Sullivan do? Angelo's back to 11.
Sullivan's going to give you spots. Reggie Ortega's in the 3rd. Oh, Sullivan almost up into the wall.
Oh, my goodness. Dallas needs to push here. He needs about 5 spots. 6 spots, maybe.
Parker up to 4th. Now Mayato and Hutton battling for 5th. Bailey Turner all by himself. A half-second gap over Adam Cabot. Turner looking for his 2nd win of the season here at Charlotte. Ronas
looking-
got another spot.
And he's gotten by Dane Cruz. So Angelo into 10th. He's going to be able to just hang on here. I think Dallas not able to advance at all. Still running in the 8th position. It is all Bailey Turner out in front by a few car lengths over his teammate Adam Cabot. How about Reggie, though, in 3rd? Here comes Dylan Parker, going to look to the inside. Going to try and take that spot away. Dylan's been one of the best on the short run. Mayato and Hutton side by side.
Hutton tore Mayato out of the way. Now Ortega fighting back on the outside. Hutton thinking about taking him 3, thinks better of it. Parker sends it to the inside. Still side by side for the 3rd position. Ortega gets loose. Parker's going to clear Hutton down to the inside now. Looking for the 4th position as Bailey Turner coming to the next time. 5 laps to go over his teammate. Hutton sends it into the corner underneath Ortega. Still side by side through 1 and 2.
And not too many guys left in this field, and they're all chasing Bailey Turner. He pulled the strategy on us. He was not going to make it on fuel and take the win, but the caution fell at the perfect time, and now he has the race lead. Can he hang on for 4 more laps? Adam Cabot has been so good here tonight, has kind of come through the field after the initial start mistake, and now he's got Dylan Parker right on his tail. Dylan is so fast here on the short run, though. What can he do? Can he push the 17 up there into a battle and maybe fight for the win?
I think so. I think Parker might need another caution. Mayato loose off the corner. Dallas Sullivan gets by Brody Hayes. Hatchell gets by Ronas. Just not enough points here to gain for Dallas Sullivan. He gets loose through the middle of the corner. They're side by side for the 8th or 7th position. Hayes now underneath Sullivan. Now Hatchell up to the outside of Hayes. And up at the front, Bailey Turner pulling away, but Dylan Parker gets into the back of Cabot.
That is exactly what Bailey really wants to see. And Cabot playing great defense here. And those two have had their issues.
Parker's not going to put up with it. He's going to move Cabot up the racetrack.
And here we go, side by side for 2nd. It's coming back to 2 laps to go. I think it's just too much distance to make up. And Cabot, and and contact.
Oh, there's contact.
Oh,
And here comes Hutton.
And he's going to send it.
Oh, he's going to push. He's going to.
Oh my goodness.
Sullivan just went around to the pits.
And that's going to be it for Dallas's shot at the chase. And they are battling. And there goes Dylan Parker around. Caution's going to fly.
Right into the wall. A green, white, checkered. Wow.
Oh my goodness.
That's amazing.
It was getting wild at the front. There were blocks being thrown, and you knew that was just going to happen. Go back a little ways here. You see Dylan Parker side by side. That was the contact with Adam Cabot. And here went Hutton, send it down to the inside, and I thought they were going to wreck right there. And somehow they held on.
Parker trying to move Cabot, and then down the back stretch side by side. Parker tries to clear as Hutton was side drafting and just gets into it, and then he spins.
And Mayato and Ortega able to sneak on past. And I don't think
anybody have tires in the pits?
I don't think so. Did these guys all make it through as well?
Jeff Red's gonna get the lucky dog. Yeah, does anybody have a set laying in pit road?
How many sets do we start with here, Alec?
We have 6. There's one. It could be 1 set laying in the pits. Reggie Ortega thought about it. He's staying out. I don't think anybody has any sets left. Maybe Dylan Parker.
Angelo has only hit 5 times here tonight, so.
Dallas Sullivan's back in.
This is his 6th trip down pit lane. Could this be that set that he needs? Problem is, Angelo's running 7th.
Sullivan's gonna have 16 lap fresher tires. It's a
If he-
possibility. I don't know. Should we pull? Oh, after he gets out of pit road, we'll have to pull him. I think Parker just coming down through pit road. They're jacking up the car.
Right side's
They
on.
got tires.
Wow.
But Dallas Sullivan
What's going on here at
pull
the
off
front?
the walk-off. I have no clue.
They're just all hanging side by side up here with Bailey Turner.
Sullivan's leaving the pits now. Should we dial up Dallas Sullivan?
You know, I think we'll leave it be. We'll
leave
see. Let's not put him too much on the spot here. This is an intense moment for him, I'm sure. How about we talk to who's up here in the mix? How about Reggie Ortega? We haven't talked to Reggie much this season, and man, he's up here in the mix. He's had a rough race, and he is in the top 5. Could fight for a win. We can talk to Reggie real quick.
Reggie? How about we get Reggie in here? Let me get Reggie here. Style up the 2's radio. Reggie Ortega, Adam Baker, Alec Martinez in the VSP booth. Got a copy?
Got you, brother.
Well, brother, it's been a race of attrition. You're up in fourth. You've been involved in a lot of incidents. How are you feeling here for this last 2-lap shootout?
Man, I feel good for the spot that I'm in right now, but I don't think I have the tires to be able to do it, especially after that wreck a couple cautions ago. But we'll see what we can do here.
All right, well, brother, we wish you good luck. I know you're not going to make the chase, but a win probably wouldn't hurt. So go get him, brother.
Thank you.
Good. I think we got to look back at it. Can Dallas Sullivan do it?
He's running in 10th now. Fresh tires on that car. He'll be the second, or no, he'll be the first car with, the only car with fresh tires in the entire field.
You know about, can I also point out, Seth Hatchell has 6-lap fresher tires than Bailey Turner and everybody in front of him.
He does have some damage, though.
He does, but he has fresh tires.
And it looks like they've actually cleaned up the damage pretty well on the, especially on the right front. So he's looking all right there. Angelo, he's got to be careful here. If he, if he loses a couple spots and then Dallas can somehow make up a bunch here, that it's going to be so close.
It
Especially
really
with drop weeks and everything too. I mean, we don't know.
Already, I think, came in, so we'll have to see here.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, Dallas has to win. There's no way. There's no way he can get in on points unless Angelo wrecks. But Dallas has to finish top 3 or win this race.
Yeah, I think at this point he would have to go up there and win. He's put himself in position to have a shot. He's got fresh tires, fresher than nobody else has fresh tires. Seth Hatchell, the next closest to him, and he's got 10-lap older tires. Some of those are caution laps here, but Bailey Turner and Adam Cabot, the teammates, going to be probably timing the restart here, which is going to be huge for them to get an advantage. Race car lights are off. We'll be going green next time. It'll be a green-white checkered overtime finish to add to the already longest race of the season.
If I'm Dallas Sullivan, I am not getting off that top. You got to use that top. It's the only way. You can tell it kind of works. You got to go. You got to push it. That's the only way Dallas has a chance, unless a caution comes out after they go green and Dallas gets some spots.
Fans who are watching out there, if you're still with us, cheer on your favorite driver. Who's going to win tonight's race? Is it Bailey Turner? Is it Adam Cabot? Can Eric Hutton or Reggie Ortega? Or maybe one of the VSPEED drivers, Keith Mato, Seth Hatchell in row 3. Can they get up there? Is something wild going to happen again? We've got 3 opportunities at overtime, and this is just going to be the first one here. Bailey Turner and Adam Cabot will lead us to the green flag. What a race it's been tonight in the Below the Double Yellow Marathon 300. Now going up over 300.
Yeah, look at 305.
Something like that.
This is going to be wild here. About 15 laps of green flag, or about 13 laps of green flag racing are on those tires for the top 5. And then up to 6th, Hatchell has about 8 laps. Dallas Sullivan, no green flag laps. Pace cars off. 2 laps to go to settle it out here in Charlotte. Bailey Turner on the inside, Adam Cabot on the outside. Turner gets going, and here we go. 2 to go from Charlotte.
Good restart for Bailey Turner. Through the gears, here comes Eric Hutton now, battling for 2nd position. He's on the inside. Cabot looks like he got a little loose. Here comes Hutton. Can he challenge for the race win? Dallas Sullivan.
Got loose.
And Dallas Sullivan already up to 8th position. He's powering around the outside. What can he do? Here comes Hutton, right behind the 24, coming back to the white flag. Cabot up against the wall.
And Hutton do anything.
And problems for Dylan Parker. White flag.
Hutton trying everything he's got. They go into turn 1. Bailey Turner sends it off in deep. Here comes Eric Hutton right behind him. Hutton one last shot through 3 and 4. They're doing for 5th. Hutton down the backstretch to the outside. Turner looks down to the inside. Does Hutton use the bumper into 3? He goes to the outside. He crosses, not going to be enough. Off of turn 4. The White Claw Chevrolet Camaro. Bailey Turner goes to victory lane at Charlotte.
What a crazy battle there. Dallas Sullivan, he'll finish in 8th. Angelo Ronas in 10th. So Angelo Ronas will move on into the chase. And the top 12 drivers there. 2nd victory for Bailey Turner. What a victory for him. Hanging on to it there in the final moments.
News was not happy with Adam Cabot and Bailey Turner. 24 laps late in the 24 car. How about
There
that?
you go.
That's
17th
a cool little stat.
starting position. Biggest mover of the night. Survived all of it. And he takes the victory here after a very bold call to just try and save fuel. And he stayed out longer than anybody else and inherited the race lead. He will burn it down here on the front stretch from Charlotte. Man, what another
What a race.
barn burner, man. In the longest race
What a
of the
race.
season, it comes down to an overtime finish. Eric Hutton, his best finish of the season, and what a drive for him as
How about
well.
Reggie Ortega, third.
Wow.
How about that? I think Cabot kind of got wide, and what an effort by Dallas Sullivan. He just needed 1 or 2 more laps, I feel like. He was really starting to make moves. Just, you're stuck in traffic there. It's hard. And I think the real I mean, how about it? Bailey Turner going to have 20 extra bonus points going into the chase for the BTDY Cup. And now I think the real question is, Seth Hatchell is your regular season champion.
Yeah,
But he does not have a win. Other than 20 bonus points he gets for winning it, he has no other bonus points. And I believe he will probably be around the 4th or 5th seed, where Adam Cabot, I think we're going to have a lot of ties here in points going into Atlanta. But next week, the All-Star race, where we have a little fun on some short track racing. But then after that, it's everybody's got to start going. They got to dig deep. And we go to Atlanta, where we know is going to be crazy. Pack racing, it's going to be fun. And again, congrats to Bailey Turner. A heck of a strategy, and it pays off. 2 wins in the win bank here before we go into into the chase. Man, what a race! BTDY, They have yet to disappoint.
Been amazing racing each and every week. Let's see if we can pull in our race winner, as well as the rest of the top 3. We'll get to interviews straight away. It's been a long night here. So
we start with third, or we start with the winner?
We'll start with third place. That is going to be Reggie Ortega. Let's see if we can get him on the screen here. And I can talk to Reggie for us.
Yeah, let's move it. Let's see if I can move him down here. Oh, the points just got updated. So should we let everybody know the points?
Yeah, let's go through the point standings.
Alrighty, so points have been updated without obviously our without the chase, but here's who we can tell you who are locked into the chase. Seth Hatchell is your regular season champion. Brody Hayes will be second, or will get second in the standings. Keith Mayato, Adam Cabot, Bailey Turner, Joshua Banks, Dane Cruz, Dylan Parker, AJ Stravato, Ben Bafford, Jeff Wright, and Angelo Ronis will be the top 12 battling for the chase for the BTDY Cup. And now we'll pull in Reggie Ortega. Adam, hold on. Take it away, brother.
All right, Reggie Ortega, this is Adam and Alec in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy?
I got you guys.
Oh, man, we just talked to you a little while ago, just a few laps ago, really. But, man, incredible finish. Really just a resilient race for you here. You were up and down. You hit the wall pretty hard a couple times and got the car fixed up. Man, to come away with the podium finish in the longest race of the season, how does it feel?
Man, it feels super great. I honestly thought I was going to get the interview jinx there, but thank you guys for not jinxing me. But, oh, man, it feels so good. I think that's my first top 5 of the season. I was really hoping those guys were going to wreck up front and give me the opportunity to at least win the race, but, you know, it's not how I would like to win it, but hey, a win is a win. But, man, I'll take this 3rd place over anything from this whole season, and just it feels so good. It feels incredible to get a 3rd place.
Yeah, you miss out on the chase by, a dozen or so points. And so that's a little bittersweet, I'm sure, but a really good way to end out the regular season. We go to the All-Star race, just kind of for fun, no pressure on anybody. But how do you feel about going out to North Wilkesboro in some ARCA car action?
Oh, man, I love the ARCA car. It's so bouncy, and it gets a little loose, and you can control it. I mean, definitely a big difference from this car, and especially North Wilkesboro, short track. Oh yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. And you guys, along with the Contender Series guys, it'll be a lot of fun to watch and see what you can do out there. But then we start off the chase, section of the season at Atlanta, which should be a really good one. How do you feel about going out there?
I really like Atlanta. I wish it was the old one, but hey, the new one's been a lot of fun, especially with the drafting and all that. Kind of with the super speedway feel. I really missed out on Talladega, which really bums me out. Probably what took me out of all this, but family was more important that day, and I'll see what I could do for Atlanta.
Yeah, man, it's definitely been fun to watch you, all season and see what you can do here and maybe play spoiler in the chase. But great run here, 3rd place tonight. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Definitely want to give a shout out to you guys, man, for giving us a good broadcast, and Below the Yellow, the league, all the admins who have done such a great job, and definitely my team, man, Dark Smoke Racing. They've put up with a lot, and they've stuck around, and gotta love them for it.
Yes, sir, Reggie. Well, great job here tonight. Congrats on P3. We'll catch you at the All-Star race next week.
I'm sorry, you kind of cut out there. What was that?
We'll catch you at the All-Star race next week, and great run here tonight.
For sure. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. That is Reggie Ortega, 2nd place or 3rd place finisher here tonight, and we are now going to pull in 2nd place. Yeah, if you're with him out.
I say because I already talked to him. You know.
Oh, I could talk to him. Yeah, I'll talk.
All right. Yeah. You're good at this.
All right. All right, Eric Hutton. This is Adam and Alec in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, we just talked to you. Luckily, we didn't jinx you either. But man, so close there at the end. You were right on the back bumper and tried to move through 3 and 4. Is there anything you could have done to pull the win out here tonight?
Yeah, I don't know. I might have been able to dive it into him or under him and turn 1. I think there's one chance there, but being a teammate and didn't want to take the risk and wrecking both of us, so can't complain with 2nd. Been a pretty rough season, so I'll take it.
Yeah, definitely a great result here, especially in the longest race of the season and a race of attrition. You survive all of it after starting 9th. You lead 5 laps as well. Get a nice little paycheck here at the end of it. Relatively speaking, but man. We wrap up the regular season. All-Star race is next week at North Wilkesboro. Pressure's off there. How do you feel about going out there?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, North Wilkesboro, is that the one that goes downhill, right?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. I get those and a few others confused, but I've had some decent runs in the Xfinity car at that track, but man, this new car, Gen 7 cars, hasn't really come to me yet, so...
Well, we're gonna be in the ARCA car, actually.
ARCA car.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I haven't driven that in about 4 years, so I probably wouldn't put money on me, but I guess anything could happen.
I know we had a pretty good battle there in the Xfinity cars in this league as well. So my money's on you on the short tracks. You're always a guy to beat out there. So should be fun to watch you try and get that win. But we start the chase the next week at Atlanta, the new Atlanta. How do you feel about going out there and running a little bit of super speedway action?
Yeah, I haven't ran to New Atlanta yet, so I don't know. I've heard it's good. Alec told me it was good, so I trust his opinion.
If you're a super speedway racer, you'll like it. If you're not, it's a track. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I might have to break out a couple bushes for that race, and it might make it better.
Yeah, I know you're pretty solid at the super speedways too, so probably be watching you there for a victory as well. But man, runner up tonight, great way to wrap up the regular season. I know you're not moving on into championship contention, but play spoiler with those guys. And anybody you want to give a shout out to tonight?
Yeah, just appreciate all my teammates and everybody in the league that puts it on, and you guys for talking me up, even though I've ran like 15th every race this season. So I appreciate it, and maybe I'll make you guys proud one of these days.
I'm sure you will, Eric. But great run here tonight.
That's right.
Fun to watch you out there for sure.
Yeah, great run, Eric. And I just want to say we better see you at the All-Star race, and I can't wait to hear you when you're a few bushes in to Atlanta. It's gonna be a fun time.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'll try to entertain you.
All right, brother.
All right, thanks, Eric.
Thanks.
All right, Eric Hutton, second place finisher. Let's go to the race winner now, burning it down on the front stretch. Bailey Turner, and Alec, I believe you're with him.
I am finally. Bailey Turner, how you feeling, brother? You got the win.
Yeah, I could tell you about 100 laps into this race, and I was ready to just hook it into the wall. Didn't think I was going to win this one, so glad the strategy and caution gods worked in my favor again there.
Well, obviously, you can bring the win. Next week, we go to North Wilkesboro for the All-Star race in the ARCA cars, so get your paint scheme ready for that one. How do you feel about going out there and then going to, obviously, the start of the chase to Tal Atlanta?
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to go in with momentum. You know, I love short tracks, Alec. I think you and I have
Oh, I
raced
know.
together long enough in league races that I wish this league went to more short tracks weekly. But
Oh.
you know, the Tal Atlanta thing, just trying to go in with momentum. You know, you got the extra points from the wins and everything going into the playoffs, and you know, I love plate racing. I have a great time with that. So it's going to be a fun one to try to go out there and, you know, see. Hopefully, you don't get caught up in the big one and trying to come out the other side with a good points day and move on and keep charging away at that championship.
For sure, man. Well, before we let you go, and I'm sure you're going to go celebrate with some White Claws because that's on your car. Congratulations again. But before we let you go, anybody want to give a shout out to before you go celebrate?
Yeah, Red Sim Design. That he's always given me these awesome paint schemes. Definitely gonna go celebrate with a White Claw. You know, what was that, summer of 2019 or something like that. So still trying to run the meme into the ground as long as I can. But yeah, thanks to Blaine. Thanks to my teammates there. We worked together and, you know, kind of got a feel for the set during the week. And, you know, just some days you get lucky and other days you don't. So I'm happy I finally got one of those lucky days here.
Heck yeah, brother. Well, again, congratulations. Go celebrate. See you next week at North Wilkesboro for the All-Star, and then we'll see you at Atlanta for the start of the chase.
Yeah, thanks. Great job with the broadcast tonight, guys.
We appreciate it, brother.
Thank you. All right, that is Bailey Turner,
Bailey
race
Turner.
winner here tonight. His second win of the season, and what a crazy race
What a
tonight.
race, yeah.
All kinds of stuff. The point situation was all over the place. Ultimately, you know, it doesn't change from how we came in. It's going to be the exact same order leaving tonight as we entered in. But Bailey Turner, another 10 points richer at the start of the chase. So congrats to him as well as all the other drivers that advanced. Go through the rest of the results here tonight from Charlotte in the Marathon 300 in the Below the Double Yellow Premier Series. What a race this was. 6 cautions, 20 lead changes. Bailey Turner holds them off in the end and takes the win. Eric Hutton comes home in the 2nd position. Finishing in the 3rd position, Reggie Ortega, his first top 5 and best finish of the season as well. Adam Cabot comes home in the 4th spot. Seth Hatchell, what a rebound, comes home in 5th. Keith Mayato finishes 6th. Dane Cruz will come home in 7th. Dallas Sullivan, just a few points short tonight. He'll finish in 8th. Brody Hayes finishes 9th. And Angelo Ronis rounds out the top 10.
11th, we've got Dylan Parker. 12th is Jeff Wright. 13th, Chris Samard after a hard wreck. Still gets the 13th out of it. Yusuf Ghali was the dominant car of the day. Doesn't get the finish he wants. He gets 14th. Joshua Banks, 15th. Ben Bafford will come home 16th. Luke Knupp in 17th. AJ Stravato will be coming home in 18th. James Loveland, 19th. And Matthew Zwack, a heartbreaker, will finish in 20th.
Yeah, 21st tonight was Michael Frisch. 22nd, Jordan Brockel, and Nick Gardner did not start tonight's race, scored 23rd position. But wow, what a way to wrap up the regular season. All-Star race coming up next week. We are off from broadcasting until next Tuesday. If you didn't catch last night's race in the Contender Series, that was quite the finish as well here from Charlotte. Those guys will be fighting it out in the ARCA cars at North Wilkesboro for the All-Star race. So you won't want to miss it. That's going to be a really fun one to watch next Tuesday, 8:25 p.m. Going to be heat racing format, and it's going to be a little bit different than what we're used to seeing here on Tuesdays, but should be a lot of fun, and hope you join us. Hope you enjoyed tonight's race as well. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share the stream, and it really does help us out a lot. Looking forward to a week from now. Alec, any final words?
Yeah, what a great regular season, man. I cannot wait for the chase for the BTDY Cup. It is going to be wild. It's going to be crazy, and it all starts off at a crazy track at Atlanta, which we know has Daytona, Talladega-like racing with big runs, big pushes. We know bump drafting is going to be a thing, pack racing. One mistake from one person, whether it's in the chase or not in the chase, can cause the entire field to fall apart. And we know at Talladega or at Atlanta, where we know the corners are so narrow. You know, somebody gets turned at the front of the pack, just like Daytona this year in the World Cup Series. Somebody might have to just Austin Dillon their way through and come through with the win.
Yeah, anything goes there. So it's definitely gonna be an interesting way to kick things off.
Yeah,
Seth
that's
Hatchell,
fun
you're
next week.
yeah.
Fun next week.
Seth
Short
Hatchell.
track race.
You know, we should actually talk to Seth. We'll talk
We
to him at the
should.
beginning of. We'll talk to him during the All-Star race. I think about the regular season championship.
Okay, yeah.
But now that we're wrapping things up tonight, but Seth, congrats on the regular season championship. All those bonus points going to be a big booster for him. Another top 5, continuing to show that consistency. He takes that regular season championship. So yeah, what a race, what a night, and a little bit less pressure next week should be a lot of fun. And we will catch you all then.